Hello, everybody. Saturday night. Welcome to the pub. I hope you all are doing well. Last Dance, RW, good to see you guys. Just Stevo, OG, good to see you, man. A little bit of a name change there. I like it. John Grammaticus, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Good evening to you, my friend. What's that? Just trying to check out John Grammaticus's avatar. Pretty funny, dude. I like it. All right. Hope everyone had a nice week. For us Americans, we're into playoff football. Decent game going on today. Right now, in fact. um, good stuff, if you like that sort of thing. Obviously, there's been a lot of wild things going on this week. Just today, U.S. airstrikes hit ISIS targets in Syria. Obviously, we had an ICE situation happen in Minnesota with the shooting. The Venezuela thing. It's all happening at the beginning of the new year here. So hopefully this isn't what the year is going to be like continuously for the entire time. Probably not, but certainly makes for interesting conversation for us tonight and in upcoming shows. So let's get this thing rolling. You ready, bud? All right. Cheers. Welcome.
Yes. Happy Saturday, and
Same to you.
hope you had a great week.
It was a pretty good week. First full week I've done of work, and it feels like forever. So, yeah, it was a good week, though. You know, I'm going to turn again. My volume was down at like 10, so I just turned it up. Hopefully that helps. Is that okay?
I mean, it was fine for me. It is a little louder now, but
Okay, cool. Good. Yeah. Sorry about the. Am I right? It was a disastrous ending for your team again.
yeah,
Fuck. What is like? You said this to me last year, and then I've been noticing it. You were right. It seems to happen quite frequently.
it's and I just can't watch it.
It's comical, not from
It
a
is.
fan's point of view. It isn't, but for all the rest of us, it's like, what the fuck?
I
You
know.
know, that quarterback of yours is damn good, but then he got a helmet to the rib cage and he sat out that game and the following game, which I found to be weird.
Yeah, he's starting to seem kind of fragile this year. At least he seemed quite fragile.
Lamar Jackson, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, sorry, man. You'll get in one of these times eventually. He's
Uh, well, our coach got fired.
Yeah, I saw that. You think it was the coach's fault?
Well, I mean, the kicker missed the field goal, so
Right.
obviously that isn't his fault. But I think that the management has been disappointed in how they haven't gotten very far, considering how good the team has played during the regular season, and they do have a quarterback that should be able to take you all the way, provided the rest of the cast does their job.
Derrick Henry is a beast, right?
Yes, and he
What
still
the fuck
has.
is up there? Why isn't he in when they? It seemed like there was some bad coaching with putting him in and taking him out. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I have my own thoughts about offensive coordinators in football, but that's not going to interest anybody.
Right. Well, anyways, on to next year for you. For me,
Yeah,
we got a pretty exciting run coming up. I hope.
yeah. Drake May looks strong. I still feel he's kind of young, and
Yeah, he's 23. I mean,
he's
Jesus.
I mean,
He's
you know,
For
it's
some
it's
guys,
exciting watching it, but
for some guys, that's their senior year in college.
Right.
I mean, it's wild. But yeah, like you say, American football, even though it's insanely popular in this crew, it's not. It's that popular.
Banksy.
So Banksy's here. The Persians are on the rise. The Persians are on the rise. I don't know if you've been keeping track of Iran at all, but
oh yeah, he has.
it brings a tear to my eye to see them fighting for freedom. I love it.
Yeah.
I just hope they all don't get fucking shot to hell, which could happen, with those,
yeah, when I heard that the internet was being shut down, I thought, oh, this begins the massacre.
Yeah, right. Thank God for Elon Musk's technology, because there's 100,000 people over there with Starlink.
Yeah.
I don't think you can block that, right?
I'm sure that there are. I'm not sure if you could easily block it everywhere because it's a point-to-point ground station to satellite. However, there are probably ways to jam it.
Well, it goes to a hub. So like my hub is Georgia, so that has a radius around it. If they're allowed to take out that hub, then they can.
Yeah, I think Starlink satellites have different modes. There might be the ability to route. I know they can route between satellites rather than going through any particular hub. So
exactly. I know there's different modes because if you're sailing across the Atlantic or Pacific directly out in the middle, you can pay a little extra and you can get satellite thousands of miles from land in all directions. So
yep.
Do you think during the blackout it's actually bloodshed that's happening instead of
that had to be the reason for the blackout? So they're certainly trying.
I've been looking for data on stuff, and I see reports of so many people in hospitals, but then other numbers are much smaller. So it's too much all over the place to really get a feel of anything.
Exactly.
I feel like we won't know unless until America goes in and does something, which my probability is above 50% of on.
I hope not. I don't think that's a fight we want to get involved with. We've been in that.
Will it even be a fight though?
Yeah, it's that situation over there. Just I hate that long-term shit, dude. I don't know. You got too many actors in the region, other countries that are going to all of a sudden, they're going to head on over for, the next, what, and they're all going to have a pilgrimage to, attack us being the invader. I don't want that.
Yeah, exactly.
I
mean, it would have to be something like what we did in Venezuela. That is, in and out, get rid of the regime, then get out. If it's anything, we're not doing Iraq again, folks.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's more so what I mean. Not old-fashioned warfare, but literally just kidnap their leader and show them that there's nothing they can do about it.
He's flying to Russia. I've been keeping tabs on. I've been watching a channel called Maya Tusi. He's ethnically Iranian, and he's got family out there. He's been doing like 3 lives a night. Yeah, it's getting worse out there, but they can't. It's been going off every day for like 10 days now over there.
Yeah.
The royal king has been giving messages back to his people. And it really does look like in the next 24, 48 hours, you're going to get the big cheeses leave for Russia. They could literally just fly out.
There's already been rumors that Ayatollah Khomeini has split, but that is not confirmed yet.
For Russia, that's the second in command, right?
So he's the Ayatollah.
Yeah, he's
He's the supreme leader. Sorry,
the
guys.
supreme
Hello.
leader.
Good evening.
Banksy, good to see
Welcome
you.
to the
Good
party,
to
Blue.
see everyone.
To see you. Yeah, it's a weird system, right? There is is it a president?
No,
Oh,
no.
no.
He's the supreme leader.
Right, I know that,
then
but
there's
there's
a-
another guy, but he doesn't.
Yeah, there's-
it's like horseshit, right? He doesn't do anything.
Yeah, exactly. There's like a supreme. There's a president. Is
Right.
it president or prime? No, it's president. Yeah, because
President.
it's not a constitutional sort of monarchy. It's not a parliamentary system. But yeah, it's a president, which was like Ahmadinejad back in the day, and now it's I forgot this other guy. But they're just essentially puppets. They've been selected. There's literally you have to qualify. You have to be selected to even run for the position of president. You can't. Not anyone can just run for the position. So Khamenei essentially makes all the calls.
Right.
And you know you can get essentially moderates and conservatives amongst the politicians, presidents and stuff. But really, when we say moderate, it's like I don't know. I mean, it's like Khamenei says, okay, any woman not wearing the hijab, beat the shit out of them, and the moderate will say, well, we will just arrest them.
What if they're lighting a cigarette with a picture of him burning?
Oh, that's death sentence. All of these
That's-
protesters are essentially being given death sentences already. It's just a matter of what are they going to do to them when they capture them. Most of the time, they actually wait at the hospital. They shoot them with like rubber bullets and stuff like that, or maybe shoot them in the leg or something with live rounds. But they'll mostly wait for them to go to the hospital, and then they'll get them there.
Nice.
Have you been watching Maya Tusi, Banks?
Yeah. I follow him. In fact, I'll probably see him tomorrow in London.
Yeah, I mean, crazy enough, just for the Americans who don't know the channel, he's getting like 40,000 on his lives in the night just for pouring on Iran.
Yeah, I mean, well, he's got over 1 million subscribers now. He's like 1.9 million, something like that. But yeah, I mean, he's considered a very big channel now.
To get live and getting 40,000 on a live from a UK-based international news, not home news necessarily. This is international news. Get 40,000 on there.
That's huge.
That's Tim Pool sort of category. In fact, I think Tim Pool only gets like 5 to 10. He doesn't even get like 40.
Unless he gets someone like Nick Fuentes on or something special, he'll get 20, 25, 30.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's all happening.
Yesterday on 40.
I pray that this is the final push. This is the final countdown.
Do you think in the next 2 days?
Sorry?
Do you think they're going to fly out in the next 2 days?
Who,
do you think
Khamenei?
as well?
Oh no.
Yeah.
This is not gonna. It's not gonna end this week. This is the beginning, hopefully, of the end, but far from over yet. I mean,
just for the Americans here, right? There's been disorder in near enough all corners of Iran, and when I mean disorder, I mean basically they've been kicking out the IRGC, which is like their police stroke army.
I think someone's misunderstanding what I'm saying. Sorry, English is saying Ayatollah Khomeini is not the supreme. Yeah, we're not talking about Ayatollah Khomeini. We're talking about Ayatollah Khamenei.
How many?
Khamenei.
bad.
Khamenei. Khomeini. Yeah, Khomeini passed in 1989.
Different guy, same hat.
What else have they been going for? They've been going for council buildings. So any council building or something to do with the government in any description, so they've been going. So all these towns and cities, you can imagine all your towns and cities throughout the country just being targeted, and the police stroke army can't really get into these corners. And it seems to be like in the disorders in the past. I was told that the disorder was mainly in Tehran, and if they quash it in Tehran, then that's the end of it. This time it was kicking off little bits all over the place.
Yeah.
So it's just like that they could. It's more of a national disorder instead of a capital disorder, and that's the difference this time. it's like they're all kicking off, and they're literally burning them. They're literally burning them up, man. I've seen them petrol bomb bikes, trucks,
Yeah.
jeeps. At the moment, the government are using drones on the protesters. That's what's happening tonight.
Well, yeah. I mean, when it comes to this blackout, we just don't know. It's. I mean, even though
Yeah, I was
you
gonna
guys
say,
talk
where
about
you getting this
Starlink
from?
and stuff.
Where are you guys? Where are you
it's-
guys getting even the information from that you're talking about? Because I haven't
I-
seen fresh information for a couple days now.
Yeah,
How do you spend
this is what I mean.
How do you spell Maya Susi? How do you spell Susi telling?
Oh Christ. I'll find that. Well, I mean, the thing is, some people have, they can have some sort of telephone conversations with their family over there. Others, it's TOSI TV, 2C TV. So yeah, some people, we have relatives. Sometimes we can get a phone call in, but now they've cut out that as well. I mean, the thing with the Starlink thing is that obviously they don't have any relay hubs in Iran, so it has to be a direct ground to satellite communication. With that, you've got weather conditions issues. There's so many things, and also they have radar jammers as well, which they use. So it's a hit and miss situation with that. It's not a guaranteed like all the time. And of course, they've got they have to smuggle the units in. And I don't know. I mean, I think RW. Did you say they have like 100,000 units? Perhaps,
That's what I
in the
heard
country?
that number.
Oh,
Yeah,
Steve.
100,000. Yes.
Yeah. So maybe they have about 100,000 in the country, but obviously that's a drop in the ocean, given it's a country of 80 million people. So whoever has that, depending on their proximity to whatever protests are going on and whatever information they can gather, and upload or send out. Yeah. So there's a lot of hurdles. Right now, we can only assume, in my opinion, by the way, I don't know, we can only assume that essentially, yeah, they're just killing people. Whoever's coming out there, there are mass arrests. Most of those people who get arrested will be put on, on a very short sort of execution.
They're bringing in loads of Muslims, aren't they, from around the region to kill them off?
What you mean the government?
Yeah.
Well, the government usually used to go directly to Hezbollah. That was their militia outside of Iran. They would go to Lebanon, ship in these Hezbollah fighters, and they would just start cracking skulls. They don't have that anymore. They really don't have Hezbollah as their go-to guys. I heard there was a plane that landed from Belarus, which potentially is a Russian aids, but I haven't got confirmation on that. Some people are talking about maybe China will chime in here and lend a hand. I
Yeah,
don't
I've
think
heard
China
some-
wants to look.
Some of the local police are starting to side with protesters. Is that right?
Yeah, a lot of the police
Yeah.
already have.
But that's why you.
That's
That's why you bring in Hezbollah.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they used to, but again, they don't really have Hezbollah anymore.
Right.
This is what I mean. The great thing that Israel did was after October 7, they decided there is going to, they basically embarked upon a regime change in Iran because they're like, we can't have this country being this constant threat towards us. And they started to eliminate Iran's proxies. They didn't go after Iran. They didn't touch Iran for a couple of years. But they went after their proxies. They destroyed Hezbollah. They destroyed Hamas. And weakened severely, like any possible aid coming from like Yemen, the Houthis in Yemen, or anyone else. Now, if China wants to directly get involved, which I don't think they want to because they've got way too many, it's not the Chinese way. You know what I mean? The Chinese are not. They don't want to put their neck out directly. So I don't think China will send manpower. They might send other aids, technological and other sort of
Sure.
means, but I don't think they'll stick people on the ground.
Doesn't Turkey have an advantage if there's another power vacuum? Haven't they walked into Syria? Now they can walk into Iran.
No, I don't think. I say no, but I mean, who knows? Who knows if they want to? But I don't think Erdogan is going to do that.
I don't
At the end
see
of the day,
Tur-
Turkey is a NATO nation. They still have to keep on side with those countries.
I don't see Iran nearly in the dire straits of existence that Syria was in either. Like,
Oh yeah,
After
no, it's very
that
different.
that country was in shambles. It still
The thing
is. I
is-
mean, we're contributing to it like actively. Our shit's probably blowing up there right now as we speak.
Oh, yeah.
So Syria is still a disaster zone. You know, I
T-
mean,
today I did a live stream. There was a whole bunch of Kurds protesting the fact that they're killing Kurds in Syria now. They're just
Yeah,
outright slaughtering the Kurds.
you know, America just targeted Syria, do tonight.
Yeah.
say that again. That kind of all blended into one long word.
Yeah, the Americans targeted Syria today. Help
Yes.
the Kurds out.
Really?
Can I get more information on that? Because I'm
Yeah.
not aware of that.
Yeah, it's just
I
on my
didn't know.
news feed right now. Yeah. We
So
So
slammed
yeah,
them.
Syria is but again, this is where I'm hoping. I'm not gonna say I know for certain, but the Iranians are different from the Arabs. You see, the Iraqis, the Syrians, these are all Arabs or Arabized. You know,
Oh.
former Assyrians, former Babylonians, but Arabized
Shit.
groups. They behave very differently. You don't. I mean, how many suicide bombers or how many of these sort of suicide sort of events really came out of Iran in the last 25 years? It's all coming out of Qatar and Arab nations.
Wait there. There was a huge sleeper cell bust in the UK. 4 months ago with Iranians.
Yeah, four Iranians. Yeah, they got them. But I mean, yeah, the Iranian regime. Now this is. Sorry, go on.
Wait there. These people had serious bomb-making equipment going on. I mean, they raided a number of properties. Some estimates say there's like 100 little sleeper cells around in the country, Iranian-based.
Yeah,
So
potentially more.
I know recently that we've been getting more of the Mohammedan, the Islamists, but let's not underestimate them because we had a little bit of a warning not long ago about them.
Well, this is the thing. I suspect because the mullahs are calculated, they would fund the Arabs to blow themselves off and the Hamas types and all that, but they won't do it themselves. But now, if they see or if they do fall, we suspect. I mean, I was talking to Niak Ghorbani yesterday, and we suspect that they will then unleash their sleeper cells upon Europe and America, because they've planted these guys for years, but they've just left them be as a form of revenge upon the West. But they weren't going to put Iranians in that sort of picture until possibly now. And that's the problem. That's the blowback that I see for Europeans and Americans, is that there's going to be a whole bunch of these Iranian IRGC guys who've been embedded for decades. I mean, I'm talking, they've all got like naturalized citizenships. They're American passport holders. They're British passport holders.
100 sleeper cells in the UK.
Yeah. And
Hell's the thing
we
coming
suspect.
out to me.
Sorry.
I think that was a whistleblower coming from MI6 or MI5, whichever obviously the international one. That's where that information came from.
There he is.
So yeah, we suspect that's the blowback for Europe and America, is that in the next coming few years, if the regime falls this year, they're going to activate a lot of these guys, and the sort of intelligence agencies have to be absolutely on the ball with all of this, because they only need one or two of these guys to get through the net.
If the state police and the federal police are at a civil war scenario in certain states, that would be prime states to get through the net.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, you guys are already got your own internal sort of these lefties and all these idiots who are going after ICE and all that stuff. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what kind of vacuum or what kind of holes in that net is being created by all this situation, in which these guys could take advantage of. But you guys are going to have to. We are 100% serious. America and Europe, and possibly Canada, but Canada's like, who cares?
Definitely Canada. Definitely Canada.
Yeah, but these countries are going to have to be really vigilant in the next few years, because the Iranian regime is going to unleash all of these people upon upon
You-
these countries.
You saw, or I don't know who saw, but Anticorp shared with me footage of protesters in Canada for Canada First protests being arrested. I don't know the reasoning behind it. I don't know if they were smashing windows in cars or if they were just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
flying the maple leaf flag had offended someone, which will be.
I don't know.
Official.
I'm curious to hear more from him later on that. But if they're also doing nation first movements, I think that plays into the Greenland Canada acquisition from the United States. That's my prediction.
It's funny
Grandiose,
if you ask
crazy.
if you ask a leftist, does Palestine deserve a homeland? They all say yes. And when you say, well, what about the British people? They say, what are you on about? Oh, well, no one's English, no one's Welsh, no. We're just a melting pot of all. No, but no. If they can have their homeland, why can't we have a homeland? Well, it's not being taken away from you. Well, it's just,
I just want
it's
to
just,
thank Els real quick for showing up. I've been in some deep conversations over the last couple of days on a lot of the topics we're going to cover tonight. So his input will probably be interesting to you all.
Sure.
Sorry, I was trying to make sure I'm not getting like reverb going back for you. Got to get the audio output right.
So, yeah,
So
you
far.
sound pretty good.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. Yeah, interesting
Oh,
stuff. Yeah, so like you just mentioned Banksy, sort of a segue to the ICE situation we have here going on, specifically in Minnesota. I don't know, what does anybody have a particular take on that they want to say?
What happened?
Of the young woman,
Yes.
the lesbian woman.
I
Yes.
feel
Play
like,
stupid games, win stupid prizes.
I feel like
I'm
Sorry, go ahead.
just disappointed she didn't take her 3 kids with her.
That's
What were
fucked
you
up, Wilkie.
What were you going to say, Hells?
So bad.
like my general feelings, it falls into the category of like lawful but awful. It's legally justified. It's also not the optimal conclusion. At the same time, I feel that she's completely responsible for her actions. She entered the situation in bad faith. The ICE officers were actually there in the situation because they had a vehicle stuck. They weren't even doing a raid at the time. You had more vehicles showing up to try to get them out of it. She was with an organization that was there for the purpose of obstructing them, pulled in there to cause problems. She was not fearful for her life at all. Her and her wife were sitting there talking shit to the officer as he walked around and did the video cam. Like it was some of the most pertinent footage was him walking around the vehicle with a camera recording, which I kind of disagree with professionally, kind of contributed to it escalating. But I mean, nonetheless, her trying to speed off, she did 100% come in contact with him physically. She did hit him with the vehicle. She did try to evade arrest. She was told that she was under arrest essentially by individuals in uniform with flashing lights next to her, knew that she was there in bad faith. And I very much dislike like a lot of the takes that are around it of like, oh, afterwards the officer fled the scene, you know, and it's like, well, no, whenever you're involved in a police involved shooting, that's the typical standard is that you leave the situation because you being there is going to do nothing good, especially when you have a bunch of violent protesters showing up throwing snowballs and trying to do all kinds of other nonsense. Or like he didn't render aid. Yeah, it's a little bit of a conflict of interest if somebody tries to kill you and then you render aid and they don't live, you know, and then it's a question of like, wait, this person that tried to kill you, you didn't save their life. Did you do it wrong intentionally? You know,
But
like,
police officers do render aid, usually right after a shooting.
and they did. They 100% did within minutes.
Just
According
other
to the
officers.
dispatch log.
She was already dead. She was already dead. They touched her straight away, checked her out. She was gone.
Yeah.
What
But it was,
about-
both federal officers as well as the fire department within 3 minutes were trying to give her life-saving care. She was rendered aid, but that's one of the talking points that's argued by people is like, oh, the officer did this and then didn't render aid. And it's like, yeah, there's a reason for that though. Would you want the person that you just try to hit with a fucking vehicle to be the one that's going to be saving your life? There's a little bit of a conflict of interest and liability
David.
question for the city. You know, there's obvious things, but people try to paint that in a bad faith light, which I just personally disagree with. And I feel like it's more bad faith actors trying to be like, oh, government bad, she's innocent.
So have you heard about the shooting in Portland, the so-called married couple?
Before we transition, Welshie, because that is a whole solid topic. I just
Yeah.
want to share my concern with
Sure.
any officer that's willing to bypass due process of a civilian. In this scenario, although I agree with Hell's understanding of the legality of his decision, I believe personally he was too willing to take that option. And that I have a concern with, because I feel like in the United States of America, there should be a conviction of a crime and not an execution from a crime, depending on the scenario.
I do agree. I would personally question if that thought process existed, because if you look at the video from his phone, like, he wasn't seeing what's going on. He's walking around towards the front of the car as he's recording, and all of a sudden she's backing up, and he takes like a step back into the side, pulls out his firearm, and then all of a sudden she floors it, hits him, and as he's getting hit, he shoots her 3 times, or he shoots 3 times. I don't know how many times he hit her, but
Well,
like,
from
whenever
that-
you're
that
talking
video-
about,
Sorry, Aphin, what did you want to say, buddy?
Well, that video we just saw, he was filming that with his phone. Is that what you're saying?
yes, he was filming with his
Oh,
phone.
that's kind of
It's
put the bad
questionable.
taste
Yeah.
in my mouth. I didn't even realize that, to be honest. I thought it was a body cam, to be honest. I mean, I didn't
That's what
pay.
the-
I guess I didn't pay attention enough to where it was at in regards to his body. I just assumed it was his body cam, I guess.
But don't they have body cams, these guys?
Some
Is
do,
that,
some
is
don't.
that procedure that you just walk around like you're doing a TikTok, you know?
Well, there's a reason for it. It's especially with federal agencies, they build profiles on individuals that are these bad faith actors. They call themselves protesters, go around obstructing justice and attacking federal facilities. Like,
Well, they
so
should use that with
collect
body
data.
cam, not
Yeah,
not
but
holding their
it-
cell phone out there.
the thing, and this was something that also I do disagree with, is specifically Trump came out with a thing saying no federal officers are no longer going to be required to wear body cam, because body cam falls under you can do your FOIA request, your Freedom of Information Act request, and then anything that's recorded can immediately be sourced to the public and used against the federal government. Whereas if instead officers are using their private cell phones, they kind of get to choose if they're going to release what it is they record and what they do with that information. Like, it's not something that's actually sourceable. So it is a circumvention of control factors, and I feel it's inappropriate. But yeah, and also I think tactically it was stupid and contributed to the issue, because the guy's walking around, one of his hands is busy doing his recording, and he's doing all that. Like, having the body cam would have solved all the issues, and he could have been more situational awareness.
Well,
maybe
plus,
not in front of
not to
vehicles.
mention that 50% of his capacity is taken by holding, a cell phone.
That's
for
exactly what I was
purpose?
thinking. His hand is preoccupied. How's he going to arrest? Even if she did stop and come out the car, he would have to wait for the other guys to essentially handcuff her, because he's
Apparently
there
he was-
recording
yeah.
with a phone in his hand.
Apparently, he wasn't fearful of his life at that moment, holding a camera.
Right.
cell
Yeah.
phone.
But it's whenever he got hit, though, I feel it was a very reactionary thing. There was
Oh, yeah.
fractions of a second from her backing up to her flooring it and hitting him. And I mean, when somebody hits you with a vehicle, I mean, like, you're like, at that point, training kind of kicks in. And I, like, for most people that
Right,
haven't done
right.
like kind of tactical stuff, like, you don't really make decisions so much as react, and you're trained to react. And once you're like,
Right.
oh shit, I'm getting hit with a car, my life is in danger, you start shooting. Like, that's I get that part. That's where I do question,
Amazing
like,
he'd already got injured previously by a car.
Yeah.
So that's what gives me a little bit of a red flag more than anything else. Is that actually, mate, you put yourself in a scenario before where you're stupid enough to stand in front of a vehicle or directly behind a vehicle, knowing it can either go forward or back.
Well, his
now
prior
you put-
incidents.
now you've done it again, pal. You put yourself in a situation where you were off work for a couple of months. You'd literally been taken out by a car. So that's why I haven't got a problem with him taking her out. She clearly hit him. The tyres sped. A dyke wife said,
Oh,
"Drive,
come
baby,
on,
drive."
man. That's irrelevant.
Wait. She's on record saying "drive, baby, drive." Now, at that split second, within half a second,
Right.
she's saying "drive." But listen,
Her sexual
but you're
preference.
not- but-
Insane.
I'm just being spicy.
Right.
The whole point is, right, was that when she said "drive, baby, drive," within 1 second, her wife is dead. Right Now
Yeah.
there's a GoFundMe in this. I think it's like 2 million or 3 million. But of course,
Probably.
GoFundMe.
That's fucked up.
If, for example, you're involved with a criminal case, they've put a GoFundMe on pause because actually she's now implicated in a criminal case. The wife is because she told her to drive baby drive.
Well, she
You know,
certainly
It's not a
escalated.
crime.
Speaking of criminal cases
Wow,
here,
how is that not a crime?
hold on. Speaking of criminal cases, I think the president and vice president weighing in on this and giving a very strong opinion is hugely problematic. That they,
Yeah, right. I agree with you.
they
One of those
cannot
was
be
not like the
doing
other,
that. I understand where their heart is, what side they're on, but really,
Right.
Do you put both of their
They
responses
shouldn't be.
in the
They
same
shouldn't be on a
category?
side. They work for every American.
I understand that's what I mean.
Liberal media are calling it an execution. Liberal media are just calling it out. But we've all seen the videos now, and we've all said, yeah, it could have been dealt with better. But I don't blame him for taking the action he took.
I didn't say that.
Okay, you haven't said that, but that seems to be where most people are outspoken on the subject. Now, liberal media would have you think it's an execution. So I think that's why Trump and JD's, venting on it, because at the same time, like I said, there was a shooting in Portland where it was a married couple. This is what CNN reported. Guess what it was? It was
Trendy Aqua.
two. That's
Yes.
right. It was two Trendy Agua fucking gang members. They're confirmed gang members. They're confirmed fucking warrants. And according to CNN, a married couple was shot. In their car.
Who cares what the liberal media says?
A Maryland man.
I care, Aphid. I
Yeah.
build my foundation on it.
Seriously, there's so much
Welsh-
energy that's
Welsh
spent
choir
on
boy.
what
Welsh
one
choir
side
boy.
media says. Let's talk about what we think.
I don't even know what they say.
Well, I don't. Me neither. I could care less.
It does matter.
Couldn't
It
care
does matter what the liberal media say because, unlike us lot, a lot of people just listen to that, and they'll swallow that whole fucking sentence. And maybe that's why Trump and JD are losing their shit over it because you're basically just calling it.
Well, there's no reason.
without
There's
saying
no
the word.
reason for them to lose their shit over it. They're. That's not the position that they're in. They're
I
the
can't
last
say
ones
that
that are
the vice
supposed to lose
president
their
did.
shit over.
I don't think the vice president lost his shit. I think he addressed the situation well.
No, he was. Oh, I don't think so at all. I can't remember. I would have to listen to the recording, but I didn't get that feeling when I heard what he said.
Okay, to me, it wasn't Trump's words. Like Trump was nut
Trump
house
was out
on
of
it,
line.
but
I think
they-
he said something about how she had to be, this was like the day or the next day, how she had to be, warped or something like radicalized or something.
Right.
I don't know.
those
I just
words
think
were
that
used.
he should have sympathy for her life being lost, if nothing else.
I don't agree with that on the fact that, like, if you act in bad faith and you go out of your way to cause a problem, and in the course of you causing a problem, you say that, hey, you're under arrest, and you say, I'm going to put people's life in danger because I just don't want to be arrested, and literally floor the vehicle with somebody in front of you. Was she trying to kill him? Was she not trying to? Debatable. I don't think that she was.
Don't matter.
Nonetheless,
She wasn't
point-
trying to kill him, and that cop wasn't gonna. He wasn't just
I have
waiting
no
for her to
sympathy.
make a mistake to kill her.
It'd be like if I go, like, there's a difference between a victim and an innocent victim. Like, an innocent victim is if I'm just like sitting in a bar seat, cop walks up behind me, pops me in the back of the head. I'm an innocent victim. I could be a victim if maybe, it's late at night and I break into a store and I'm stealing some shit. And he sees me walking out with a TV and my hands are full and he shoots me while I'm obviously not any kind of a threat. Should I have been killed? No, but I'm also not a fucking innocent victim at that point, right? Like, I am kind of responsible for creating the situation that ended up with my death. It could have been handled differently.
Right,
Yeah.
it could, but he could also be convicted of murder for that.
Potentially. It depends on a lot of
Whatever
things.
happened to just shooting somebody in the leg?
Your legs
Like,
were
one of
visible.
it
Well,
to kill people.
The biggest arteries.
If you'd have shot him on the break, it wouldn't have been very good, would it? I mean,
it's literally there is no non-lethal use of a gun. Like, if you shoot somebody in the leg, the largest arteries in your body are in your leg. If you hit your femoral artery, for example, I mean, you'll be dead within about 2 minutes if you don't have that thing plugged up and get to a hospital. Like your all of your blood will drain. Like shooting somebody in the leg does not make it any less lethal. That's kind of a myth of people that don't know guns.
But we understand her question.
In that
Nonetheless.
situation, shooting her body mass and killing her didn't change the trajectory of that vehicle in any way either, though.
See, that's the
It was
problem.
gonna roll over.
That's
Yeah,
the
last hand,
problem
what's
with
your
cops
opinion on
stepping
this?
in front of cars.
What's
Yeah.
your opinion on this whole thing too, Last Dance? I want to get that after you.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm kind of pretty close to Hell's. I think that the ICE agent was kind of on this kind of front side. She did brush up against him. I don't like to say she hit him. If that 5,000-pound vehicle hit the ICE agent, he would have fallen down. So, but it did touch him, and I could certainly believe that he was in fear of his life. But I get so angry, and this happens. I've seen this, happen frequently with police officers where they step in front of a car, hold it, tell the driver to get out, and if the driver doesn't get out, they'll fire, or if the driver accelerates toward them, they'll fire. And even if you shoot the driver, that car's going forward, whether the driver's dead in the next instant or not. So
Right.
it's just stupid. It's so stupid to do that that I almost don't want to give the agent the benefit of the doubt. But if I had to give him the benefit of the doubt, he really wasn't directly in front. He was kind of mostly to the side. So I don't know.
If I could say on that piece, like I did actually dig into the policy on this, and both Department of Homeland Security, DHS, as well as ICE, which falls under DHS in regard, both of them have policies. You cannot stand in front of the vehicle with the purpose of blocking it from leaving. It is completely against their policy. It is not allowed. I will also say the ICE officer, what he was doing, he came out in front of the vehicle, recording, walked around her window, walked around the back, walked around the other side, and was walking back around the front of her vehicle whenever the hit happened. It didn't seem like he was standing in front of the vehicle with the purpose of blocking them in, which would have been the violation of policy. It more seemed like he was transitioning from one side of the vehicle to the other. She hadn't shown that level of aggression yet. Yes, they were talking shit to him, saying like, hey, you're a big old boy. Maybe you should go get fucking lunch. They were talking shit. They're being antagonistic. They're blocking traffic. They're there in bad faith. All the rest of this shit's bullshit. But at the same time, I don't believe that he was actually doing that. But if he was, he would have been completely breaking policy, and then it would not have been a good shooting, and it would be completely illegal. If the FBI review comes to that conclusion, it is possible.
The term good shooting is kind of painful.
I also have, I don't know, I know state and municipal police officers can order you out of the car and do all the things we expect police officers do. I'm not certain. I'm basically ignorant on what ICE agents can, what their authorities are in this regard. Can they essentially do everything a police officer can do?
That's a good question since it was a civilian.
I think they can.
They can detain. They cannot arrest. And there's a difference between those two things. If they feel that somebody's committing a crime to certain extents, they're allowed to detain the individual and say, hey, I'm even going to put you in handcuffs or zip ties. You are here and you're not fucking leaving. But ICE agents themselves do not have the ability to arrest unless it's specifically within their purview, such as...
What's the difference, though?
So for immigration issues, they can arrest.
Yes. Arresting somebody is whenever you're saying, hey, I'm taking your freedom. We're going to go down the road and you're going to go to court and like there's going to be a process. You're removing somebody from society. Detaining somebody is saying, hey, you're not free to leave and you got to stay here until we get this sorted out. It's like whenever you get pulled over, sometimes police will put people in handcuffs while they figure the situation out and afterwards take them out of handcuffs and be like, hey, man, we realize that you're cool. We're not going to charge you. You were detained then. You were not arrested.
They arrest you.
It's not de-arrested. You were never arrested to begin with. You were detained. Being detained, being arrested are two different things.
So
you don't even have to be in handcuffs to be detained as well. Whenever you get pulled over, you're detained. You can't just leave.
Yeah, generally they would have to make a decision within 20 minutes, half hour. of entertainment? Because you can't just keep on detaining people for any lengthy period of time. You can't.
No, but one thing I want to put on the table. This is for me the reason why I think this is absolutely the Democrats' fault. These women seemed so incredibly privileged that they think that they can, first of all, shit talk a bunch of federal agents. Second of all, to drive away. I mean, that is the height of privilege. That you think you can just drive away. Here's a bunch of people with guns. I mean, I don't live in America. Yeah. To some extent, thank God, because I don't have the chances of me getting shot by the British police are minimal. But the fact is that if I'm in America and a police officer or any authority who carries a weapon says to me, stop and get out of your car, I'm stopping and getting out of my car because I don't want to die.
Yeah, see, that is another aspect that troubled me, is that you could based on them shit talking the agent beforehand, clearly to these women, this was a game, basically.
Yeah.
This is a fun, good time, with your lefty friends,
They were doing it daily last time.
Exactly.
They were daily activists. Well, where were the kids? That's what I want to know.
Well, I would also say, though, with that, it's one of the reasons it dismantles one of the big arguments that a lot of people said afterwards. It's like, oh, how do you know that she wasn't in fear of her life? How do you know that she wasn't fleeing? Because, but if you looked at it, when he came around with the video, it showed her face. There was zero fear. She's sitting there being obstinate, talking shit. Her girlfriend comes up, or her wife, whatever it was, recording a video saying, like, hey, fatty, go grab a cheeseburger. Like, they're sitting there talking shit to him the entire time. There was no fear in the situation whatsoever. It was just when an officer came up and said, hey, get out of the car. She didn't get out of the car. He started tugging on the door handle. And then it was, go, baby, go. And then she was just trying to get the fuck out of there. That wasn't fear. That was just trying to be an asshole and thinking, like, exactly. We pushed it as far as we can take it. Now we're going to fucking get the fuck out of Dodge, and we're going to act like that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had the go, baby, go thing. I have a feeling that they all thought this was, some sense of excitement. And had no inkling that they were involved in this is all serious business.
Yeah, you're in a dangerous situation. By the way, Base, when you keep saying where the kids were actually at a quality leering center.
They were at a leering center?
They were at a quality leering center, apparently. No, they were actually in daycare.
They actually went to daycare.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate. I mean, that's and that's what the way everybody I wish felt about it. Instead
why does every lesson have to be learned the hard way? Why can't people? I have a lot of sympathy for the dead woman and her family. It's
a tragedy.
It should just never have happened. And I wish that agent had not fired because he didn't need to. However, who knows? I'm sure he fired because he was in panic because the car was accelerating and he was right next to it. And if I was in that situation, I don't know that I would, I would do anything different. But retrospectively, he didn't need to fire. It had already sort of gone by him at the point that he fired. But
the flip side of that is, hold on. The flip side of that is, like, if they, you don't want a cop to, or whatever, he's not a cop, but whatever, to have that second guess every time they're in a situation like that either, because there's going to be more of them that end up dead if they are,
Well, he made the right decision. Yeah.
Look, the fact is that I mean, when you see all the videos, there's multiple videos, different angles, and she was reversing at one point in order to get a bit more space, I guess, to be able to make that turn and leave. When she backed up, when the car was in reverse, he pulled out his gun. You can see it on the video. He pulled out his gun when she was backing up, and then when she accelerated forward, bam, bam, the shots went off. So he was already getting prepared to shoot. Now, if you're of a different mindset, I mean, I would imagine, because I've seen British police officers, armed British police officers stop. There's a video on X, a couple of 15-year-old kids steal an Audi, and they're just ramming the cars trying to get through. And these police officers all have semi-automatics on them, and none of them fire. They smash the windows and they manage to get these kids out of the car, and nobody dies. But I would imagine, if this guy had a slightly different restrained training on shooting at
Right.
the absolute last resort, he probably would have just let the car go. They've got the number plate. They can track it down. They can
Right.
pursue this later.
Right.
But unfortunately, an American mindset is, I have a gun in my hand and I'm going to use it. And unfortunately, in America, I think Americans should know this. If you're in a situation with authority, and that authority has a weapon, you don't take chances. What are you,
Of course not.
idiots?
See, that's where I think this carnival atmosphere that's being engendered here kind of lulls these women into a sense of false security, and they don't.
Correct.
It's not in their mind that this is all deadly serious business, and a wrong move can be tragic.
Last Dance, I've been quite concerned because when I watch it I've been watching it in Portland and stuff. I told you about it. I've been going on for months in Portland during the summer, and it's like they're getting away with fucking murder daily. I would pepper spray them. I would fucking tear gas them. I'd fucking taser them. It wouldn't be a nice environment for a woman. I seen a woman give an interview today with a newborn baby. And I just thought to myself, it wouldn't be the sort of environment you want to get those white liberal women, both size 16 dykes, turn up at a riot and thinking, oh yeah, this would be a great laugh. It just wouldn't happen because I wouldn't give them the environment. They'd feel, this is some sort of jolly, like or we're getting our paycheck and getting some food and send a takeaway later on, or first. It wouldn't be like that.
Base. I'm gonna say it. This is white women privilege. Okay, you guys in America, you guys gonna have to rein in your white women. We over here in Europe, we've lost control. They're running buck wild here. We've got no control on our white women. White women are just running shit now. But you guys are gonna have to rein them in. That's what it is. It's white women privilege.
Thanks for that. As soon as I get off the show tonight, have that talk with my wife. Listen here, white woman.
Sweetie, you got to tell your people.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm sure Mrs. Lip is amenable to that too.
I mean,
imagine being a parent. Imagine being a parent of 3 young children, and your main activity during the week is to go to protests and fuck around and find out and think it's all a good fucking jolly for weeks on end. Her priorities are fucking in the gutter, sadly.
It's one of the big arguments that I've seen multiple times, multiple debate communities talking about this. A lot of people are like, oh, well, it's not illegal to protest. And I'm like, what part of this was a protest? Your protest was to track this police convoy down with an organization and then park in front of them, blocking traffic, committing a crime, and then refusing to leave, and then refusing orders to get out of the vehicle and allowing yourself to be detained, and then flooring it and hitting an officer with your vehicle. What part of that was a fucking protest? That's what a lot of what it comes back to is people like, oh, well, I was protesting, so it was okay. But it's like, no, dude, if you're taking Molotov cocktails and you're burning down cars and buildings, your protest is a fucking crime, and that's not protesting. That's rioting.
They had a checklist. They're like a memo checklist that they, that certain things they should do to obstruct ICE, basically, cause a federal crime by obstructing law enforcement. Because these how-to stuff, stay on the road as long as you can. Don't be, and it's all these things to try and and it's just basically all these things are obstructing federal officers, which is a crime.
I mean, this is the thing. She would have gotten either chased, pulled over, or arrested later, and probably would have gotten a minimal punishment. It wasn't as though she was doing anything that was all that bad. But the moment she stepped on the gas and caused the officer to feel his life was in danger, whether it was or wasn't, his perception was his reality at that time. And his first and second and third shot were extremely fast, which makes me think he was just going on autopilot at that point.
Right.
You know, he
0.53
wasn't thinking.
splits.
It's like once the gat's out, dude's just in
Yeah.
gun mode, you know.
I've already crossed the line. I might as well finish the clip.
Well, no, it's your thought process. So for one thing, it's standard policy when a vehicle starts moving that you have locked down and you're trying to orchestrate stuff. You draw a gun and you point. Like that's just what you do in military and civilian operations, because you don't know what somebody's going to do with this 2,000-pound machine that can kill you. Like at that point, you treat it like, hey, you know, this is a problem. But after that, like one of the thing again that people don't understand is a lot of this is muscle memory. Like he was shooting, by understanding, it was a 0.53 splits. What that means, about every half second, he's letting another round rip. Your brain doesn't work that fast. You don't, between that half second to the next half second, have time to like reconsider the options and say, hey, should I let another one loose? No, you pull, you draw your threat, and then as you're shooting, you're reevaluating, and then you come to a conclusion. I think 1.5 seconds to reevaluate between, hey, it's go time, I'm being hit by a fucking vehicle, by somebody that's breaking the law, to stopping shooting is a pretty reasonable amount of time. And
I know, but the argument is going to be the decision to do it in the first place, not the spread of the bullets after the decision was made.
Well,
yeah, but I mean, getting hit by a vehicle kind of takes a lot of that argument away. Like I don't think there's much to argue.
There's one thing that we haven't addressed, and Bottlecap's brought it up a couple times. He's saying that the officers were not in uniform. I did a quick search. That's a valid argument on the internet. Do you guys think it holds any weight to the equation? I don't know what the rules are for ICE. I know that their MO is to go and be undercover, basically, for what their purpose is. So how does that weigh in? If you have a person not in uniform that's giving you a lawful order.
But they were identified as officers.
They knew.
A lot of them wearing like vests and stuff that said police on it, that said ICE on it, like they were wearing tactical gear. The fact that they weren't wearing a full uniform doesn't matter. They had identified themselves as such, and more importantly, the lady knew that they were. The reason that she was there to begin with, she publicly stated that, hey, I am here to obstruct these officers.
Yeah,
she doesn't really have the argument of like, oh, I didn't realize that the undercover vehicle with flashing red and blue lights and the guy that got out that was wearing a tactical vest and a fucking gun that said ICE on the front of it, I didn't realize that they were officers. She doesn't have that argument.
Yeah, I think in other contexts it could be an issue of that, it's a concern, but in this context, they clearly knew they were ICE.
Right. And then they knew who they were. There wasn't like any ambiguity.
I mean, the wife turned around and said, "My number plates won't change from today tomorrow," which obviously means that the last fucking couple of weeks they've been in each other's pockets every day, and they know exactly who each other are.
You know, if you think of something, when the surviving wife was seated on the ground sobbing, saying, I just killed my wife. I just killed my wife. Yes. She was talking about her making the statement, drive on, baby, drive on. Because it was almost like her wife listened to her and started driving and then got shot.
Exactly.
So she was blaming herself for it. And honestly, I do feel bad, even though they were acting somewhat vile towards these guys and completely rude in their behavior. It was definitely a tragic result. I mean, it's awful all around. Like everyone has acknowledged, he could have probably acted differently and this wouldn't have happened,
I feel like they
was within the law, like you said, Hells. It is lawful but awful because there was other ways that this could have went down. But he probably won't even lose his job over this, in my opinion.
No, you won't.
Not at all.
The whole thing seems
it's nothing bigger. Nothing bigger.
The one officer's dancing around with his cell phone, going around and not engaging with her, but he's not telling her, hey, get on the ground and shut up or whatever. It seems like if they would have held their distance from the vehicle from the beginning and all stayed in the same place and ordered them, I don't know. It just maybe I'm being stupid, but it just seems like
you need to watch like 5 minutes of it, and everyone knew what was going on. They were just basically blocking the way.
Well, I know, but you got the one
time-
officer dancing around with the telephone, and then the other two were like trying to break into the car,
the other officers, they get out, didn't he? The other officers, they get out.
It just seems
but
like
the
they weren't
thing
on the
is-
same page. You know,
Yeah,
The thing is, Afid, if you see there's a longer video of before the shooting. So this is the whole thing about before.
Yeah.
She, in fact, pulls up and they're all screaming. She's papping her horn, screaming, ISIS here, trying to, I guess, warn people. And she pulls across the street. Then she pulls her car back and lets a few cars go by because she thinks they're like civilians. And she actually lets apparently it's the white SUV of one of the ICE cars, but it wasn't flashing any lights or anything. She actually waves them through. And then it's the black truck with flashing red and blue, which she pulls in front of to block that one. And then things then go from that point onwards and escalate. But the fact is, she's fully aware of what she's trying to do. She's trying to stop these ICE vehicles.
What the hell does that mean?
Who's
Flicking
flicking
the
the
bean.
peanut?
You don't know what that
Flicking
means,
the
Last
peanut.
Dance.
Flicking the bean.
I do not know what that means.
You don't want to flick the peanut?
Oh, come on. You don't know what that means.
Working blue. You gotta,
My
she knows,
intermission.
She knows.
Did you just come out of a nunnery or something? You don't know what that means.
Well, if you did, you'd know what it means.
yeah.
Oh, I know
Yeah,
what it means.
Oh, flicking the bean. Okay.
I get it.
All right.
The-
Thank you.
But from a
The
tactical
bean, the
aspect,
bean.
though,
Now
I
I'm
just,
embarrassed. I don't know why I'm embarrassed. You should be embarrassed, but I'm embarrassed.
I am not embarrassed.
Good.
Yeah, that's gangster for a woman to have.
Yeah,
That's-
absolutely.
I love it. That's
Yeah,
hilarious.
I-
that is actually.
What am I
I
gonna do? Put a
respect-
picture of me up there? Fuck that. Flicking the bean.
There you go. There you go. I love it.
but
I
from-
respectfully disagree with your assumption. I just think that not about the flicking the bean. Sorry.
Gotta be more specific.
I just the one cop going around with his cell. Now that I know that, it just changes kind of my whole opinion on the whole. It just seems like that was and he's shining it at the chick that they're doing their Muhammad Ali dance around the vehicle, and it doesn't seem that serious when he's looks like it almost appears. I know that there's a reason behind. I believe
it makes
there's a
it
reason
seem
behind what he's doing, but if I was in that situation, I'd be like, "What the fuck is this guy like following me around like we're on TikTok or something?"
It makes it seem like he's engaging on their level.
Exactly,
in
that's what I'm
respect,
saying. And
But
then
yeah,
the other
maybe-
cop comes in and starts ripping at the door, and he's standing right in front of the vehicle. If
Well-
he should be pissed at anybody, he should be pissed at the cop for. Because that's what made her take off is the cop trying to pull the door open.
Right. Like,
because
what
they
are
gave
you?
her
Are you?
instructions.
He didn't
are
even
you-
care, but that the guy is in front of him. It seems like poor. It just. I feel like this could be.
She should have just
I
followed
feel like.
the
Hold on.
instructions.
I just feel like this
Instructions.
could be. Hold on. I feel like this could be like a example of what not to do in this situation that they show officers in the future. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I just don't feel like this was handled perfectly.
If
Yeah,
it,
it used to be good cop, bad cop. Now it's TikTok cop and psycho. cop.
Right.
Like,
It makes no sense.
The thing is, if you, as I say, if you see the longer video prior to the shooting, the
I don't know
white
if that
car,
changes. You got two different reactions from two different officers in the same situation.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
but
saying.
the
They should have
white-
kept their distance.
the thing is, the officer in the white SUV, who is the one who actually does the shooting, he gets waved through by her. As I said, she actually lets a few cars go by, and she just pulls in front of the one with the flashing blue and red lights because she thinks that's the only car. So the guy who's the ICE officer in the white SUV pulls up past her car and then gets out, and he's the one who's recording on his phone, who comes round in front of the vehicle, whilst the others who are from the black flashing light vehicle come out and start instructing her to get out, because at that point they're like, okay, she is now obstructing us, we're going to have to detain her. Oh, sorry guys.
If she was confused on who was who in that situation, then that would be relevant. But I think they all knew who everybody was in that situation at that point.
Well, maybe
time.
maybe the police did, maybe the ICE officers did, but maybe she did. As I said, I don't think she recognized the white SUV as an ICE vehicle. She waved that one through and just stopped the flashing red and blue.
hey,
Okay,
if it-
Also, wait there, the mobile phone thing, the mobile phone thing that keeps on coming up, which is, I get. Do you think they might be using the mobile phone because they can then get that information and put it to
Well, yeah, that's what he's saying that they were doing.
Yes, that's exactly what I was
Yeah,
saying.
it's like a quick
regular
transfer, isn't it?
people aren't going to know what everything is being used for in a situation. And even if they were, like Last Dance said, it was like he was almost putting himself on her. Well, that probably wasn't his intention. But in her situation, she's seeing, oh, yeah, I'm getting you and you're getting me, and to her, that's what it was, And she's like, I'm not mad at you. She said that to him.
Right, I want to hear what Eastwind has to say. Go ahead.
Oh, I just want to talk to Aphid. Thanks for having me up again. Good to see you guys. Hey, Aphid, so this isn't just pointed at you, Aphid, but
no,
the end of it. No, it's nothing bad. The end of it kind of talks on what you said. But okay, so this girl, regardless of whether she let the first SUV with the guy that actually shot her, let him pass. Regardless of that, they made a conscious decision that she is interfering with the federal law enforcement, and they've had enough with it. Regardless, if she's been taunting them all day. Who knows? It doesn't matter. Taunting is not against the law, but she blocked put her vehicle in the way and let other vehicles away. So they made the conscious. I don't know what they thought, but I'm thinking they made the conscious decision. You're interfering with law enforcement. You fucking had it. We've given you enough warnings, this and that. And they get out of the car with their lights and sirens on. Get out of the car. Once the lights and sirens are on, once their lights are on, you're detained. In Massachusetts, they made a law years ago, maybe 25 years ago, that, and I'm just saying this to Steve to preface this, if a car is broken down on the highway and there's a state trooper behind them, if the front lights are not on, then they're investigating a broken down vehicle. But if their front lights are on, the courts have determined that seizes the vehicle in front of them. And they had to change that law, so I'm just saying, once you put your lights on, the vehicle in front of them is pretty much detained and they're pulling them over and they've made a decision. So they put the lights on, the girls, so they're this way, the girl's this way, and the other SUV is this way. They finally say, fuck this, we're gonna arrest this girl, get her out of the car, blah, blah, blah. And they get out of their vehicle. The two in the vehicle approach the Honda Pilot. The guy in the SUV, who's the guy that shoots her, he circles around and comes back around. And then over here is the female, the wife that comes out. She starts giving him ration and shit, this and that. So that goes on. She's not a threat. He doesn't deem her as a threat, but you get the vehicles there. So now the officer that comes around, you have fields of fire. You have two officers here, and you're not. You say there's a problem with him getting in front of the car with a gun. Well, she's the threat. She's the driver. So you have two officers here, one officer here. He's not going to stand over here or behind here or this and that because the fields of fire, if he does that, there's crossfire by both officers into one another. So you get two officers here. One is the contact. The contact made contact with the verbal commands, and he grabbed the door, tried to open it. Ma'am, whatever he used, open the door, open the fucking door. She has been seized. And then she evaded. Well, not evaded. She did not recognize because she doesn't think I think she's entitled to where she doesn't think she can be detained for doing that. But it doesn't matter what they think. The law is the law. And
Thank you.
the guy came around front. He had the driver who was a threat. You had the two guys over here. One guy was covering, one guy was contact. So it's just the way it happened. He's not going to stand in the furthermost corner to cover the driver. He's going to get where he can cover that driver the most.
But are you saying that the driver's threat is the vehicle or a weapon or unknown?
Well, the vehicle can be used as a weapon.
So getting into proper proximity for being hit would be what
you can't. Yeah, you can't put yourself in the position. You can't just put yourself in the position to game it and say, "Oh, I was in front of the vehicle and she came at me, so I shot her." You can't do that. They were doing, separate fields of fire. They did their 90-degree interview positions and all that.
I get what you're saying, and I'm not saying he's totally fine. I'm not saying he should be prosecuted. You know, he did what he had to do, and I get it.
No, I'm just saying
that, like he was at the this guy that was in the front of the car. He was at the driver's door just 15 seconds earlier, and he didn't try to pull her door open, and he was totally different. He's got a cell phone, and he's shining it in her face, and then he turns and shines it to the wife or whatever she's called face.
Right. Well,
so you got two different instances. You got one officer that first comes on the scene, and he's like using his camera to record everything, and then all of a sudden, you know, so it doesn't seem like it's that serious to her. And then you got these other two that just come on the scene, and all hell breaks loose.
RoboCop.
Well, so I just feel like they should have all been on the same page from the beginning. And if he was, he should have like stayed at that or at the driver's side of the door and been more concerned about getting the threat out of the car and out of the dangerous weapon.
I hear you, man. I hear you. You know, I'm not.
That's why I just think it was handled poorly from the beginning.
Well, I hear you what you're saying, but these things happen immediately, you know, and it's not like this was like Black Hawk Down or something like that, you know, but there's a person that has to take a lead, someone determines, then everyone else, it flows, and they don't have a game plan. They didn't get on the radios and say, this is what we're going to do. You're going to do this, get in front of her, let her pass you, and pull your gun and run around with your cell phone and take pictures. They don't talk about that. You know, once they initiated the stop, lights and sirens, she was detained, and under the Fourth Amendment, she was seized. And she does have civil rights at that point, but her rights are gone. She is under arrest. She is in total control of the police.
Eastwood, you're 100% in the aspect of this is what I'm saying. It's white women privilege. They think that just because these guys said you're under arrest, you're detained or get out the car, they don't have to abide these instructions. That's the problem, is the fact that it's actually at the root of all of this entire incident, that these women thought that they have such privilege that they can stop federal agents from doing their job by going after illegal migrants. This whole thing is based around their ideology, the fact that they can interfere with federal agents doing their job, and this instruction has come down from the heads of the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party has blood on their hands here. This is on their hands. This sits at their feet 100% to tell these people to go and interfere with ICE agents. You are idiots.
Okay, let me do the flip side of that. Do you think that the January 6th and that, I can't remember her name, she got killed? So do you think the Republican Party has blood on? Yeah, do you think they got blood on their hands?
Oh yeah.
No, because the instructions from Donald Trump was absolutely clear. Go there and peacefully express your displeasure with your government. He made no statement, go in there and smash things up, go in there and interfere with the state police, or try to get into the Capitol building. If he'd given those types of instructions, then yes, but he didn't. There was no instructions of go there and be violent or do anything unlawful. These people are being told to do unlawful things, to obstruct federal agents in their duties.
Wasn't there chatter on the web the night before, on January 6th, how they were going to do terrible things? And I mean, maybe if it's not from the president.
Aphid, I just want to say that everyone knows the cop's name that shot that girl in Minneapolis, but no one knows the cop's name that shot Ashley Babbitt in the fucking face.
I don't know the name of it either. Even if
no one knows that cop's
I'd forget
name.
in 10 minutes.
Did you guys also see that ridiculous performative act the Democrats recently did on January 6th memorial? They never mentioned Ashley Babbitt's name, by the way. Throughout the whole of their speeches, not one person mentioned Ashley Babbitt's name. The fact that she was killed. She was the only civilian that was killed on that day.
Hey, Steve.
Yeah.
I did a little homework, and I don't want to babble all night because I tend to do that. I'm drinking ginger beer and whiskey.
Nice.
But can I ask a question about a certain current event?
Of course you may.
Hell yeah, dude.
Okay. When I ask the question, I'm going to ask you the question, but I'm not going to like try to fool you and like ask you a question and have the right answer for it. I just want to give you exactly
Like somebody we know.
Exactly. So I was driving today, and I was driving through the mountains in New Hampshire, and I barely catch anything on the radio. And this Vince show, I don't know if anyone knows of that, was on the radio. It was probably a podcast, but anyway, he was talking about the oil of Venezuela. Have you guys covered that tonight?
Not really, no.
So supposedly, and what I say, don't take whatever I say isn't fucking hard facts. I'm just throwing things out there that I heard, and
You think we all have hard facts? Come on now.
So China's oil is approximately 70% from Russia and 30% from Iran and Venezuela. Yep. So did we just shut down 30% of fucking China's oil? And that rhetorical. And then
we interrupted it for sure. I think that's a definite thing that happened. And
but Trump was asked the question, and he said, "Well, we're here to sell oil."
So there we go. So that in lies one of my other things. So then this guy was saying that China. So now that 30% of China's oil, which is Iran and Venezuela, is shut off, they only have Russia, or approximately only Russia. So then this guy is saying that China, instead of paying the regular prices to Russia for the oil, China's just going to say, well, no one else could buy your fucking oil, but we're going to keep buying it, but we're going to buy it at a lesser rate. Even though that's the total opposite of demand and what's that? Anyone?
Supply and demand.
Supply and demand. So if you're thinking in a supply and demand thing, it's like Russia's the only game in town, so they can charge China whatever they want for. But China's so strong that they're going to say, nah, you can't sell it to anyone else because of America, what they're doing, and we're going to pay you less. So the 70% of what China's oil gets from Russia, they're actually going to pay less.
There's a lot more to it than just that.
Of course there is.
Stuff. So like a big portion of this, like, yes, there's the Venezuela thing. Yes, there's narco-terrorism thing. I think Venezuela is a valid target. But a lot of the bigger movement, in my opinion, it is about the oil. But the biggest thing is what's called the ghost fleet. And there's this large practice that's been going on around the world where after a place is sanctioned, such as Venezuela, such as Iran, such as Russia, the main places that are oil producers, instead of actually saying that, hey, we're going to go along with that, we're just going to stop reporting things, they create the ghost fleet, and they create oil tankers and such with multiple transponders, where they go out and they have like one ship name, and then they change the name of the ship to somewhere in the midtime. They turn the transponder off,
or they switch it off. Yeah, they switch it off.
Or they will pull up to another oil tanker from another nation, and they will do a ship-to-ship transfer out in the middle of the ocean, and then say like, oh yeah, that didn't come from us; it came from Puerto Rico. But that's the largest thing about what the U.S. was doing, because after they took the Venezuelan ship, then they chased down, they took the Russian ship, and the Russian ship, the interesting thing with it, like they were flying a flag, and they had a transponder saying that they were from some certain country, and America actually contacted them as they were chasing and was like, hey, do you motherfuckers own an oil tanker? And they're like, no, we do not. We have nothing to do with that. And that's when they started chasing him. Then all of a sudden, they flipped their shit around and they painted a crude Russian flag on the side of it and turned on a Russian transponder to try to declare themselves as sovereign Russia and say, we are protected by Russia because we are a Russian ship. But
all right, Anna, I'm going to bring you on, Anna. You can shut your camera off if you prefer. You continue, my friend.
Okay, but the biggest thing that they're actually doing is targeting this ghost fleet, because the ghost fleet of oil shipment actually makes up about 20% of oil exports around the globe every single year.
Yeah,
and the majority of it is all coming out of these illegal, these illegal nations of Iran, Venezuela, and Russia, and the majority of it's going towards other bad faith actors like North Korea and China. So the strike against Venezuela was not just a hit against Venezuela. It was actually also a strike against North Korea and China. And that's also what when they're dismantling this as well. And now they're setting a precedence like, hey, motherfucker, I don't care if your ship is from a bad port and you're faking shit. We're going to take your shit. it's an escalation of force, and the response is a little bit scary because now Russia is actually having their Navy fleets escort Russian oil tankers, which is getting into hairy situations where America's going to have to decide, like, hey, how much do we want to actually enforce this sanction? Are we actually going to fight for it? Because that's literally what happened. As this Russian tanker was fucking fleeing away from the American military, the Russia deployed a nuclear submarine and multiple destroyers over in that direction.
Yep.
And America said, fuck it, we're going anyways, and we're going to take it. There was a standoff. Russia decided to back down. Stuff ended up okay. But I mean, dude, this is a lot bigger than Venezuela.
Yeah,
right?
Putin's really pissed off for that last vessel that was seized. They're not impressed at all about it because it's obviously costed them lots of money as well.
There's no way that we're going to go after a Russian convoy with oil tankers in it. There's no way.
It's possible. I mean, you realize that every Russian tanker, like just having a tanker ship, like a modern-sized tanker ship full of oil, is worth about $2 billion.
I understand that, but they're burning
Like-
tons of oil now to transport that oil, so they're costing themselves even more.
It's not $2 billion worth more than
shipping
the
oil is
destroyers
cheap.
escorting it.
Shipping
Like, the
oil is
oil
cheap.
tanker is the most valuable thing in the convoy. You can lose all the destroyers, and it's like, fuck it, we'll build more.
That's
$2
crazy.
billion, you can make a fleet. Like, it's
Liquid
$2
gold.
billion. Like that, there's a reason oil tankers is the entire focus because there's so much money in it, and this is with the oil price being nothing right now.
I don't like it.
And there's two types of shipping fuel. There's clean shipping fuel, which is like 12 miles from coast. And then you've got the dirty shipping oil, which is really shitty. It's really cheap and really shitty. And they, like I said, they motor around the world on the shitty one. Is that correct? They got two types.
100%.
Can
Yes,
someone
it's
confirm that?
mostly abused by cruise liners and whatnot. The reason, like, you go on your cruise liner, you leave port, burning nice clean stuff, and then all of a sudden, boop, it's like black cloud of bullshit coming out the top, and it's fucking nasty, and it's like killing the environment. It's the shit that nowhere else in the world will let you pop out, but hey, it's
So it doesn't
cheaper
cost
and it's
you a lot,
international
really.
water, so
Yeah, it's
you
really
do
cheap.
it.
And people are all up in a fence because Trump says that we're going to take the oil and we're going to do what we want with it. Well, supposedly he's going to sell it, maybe sell some to himself or America, and then sell some to other countries. Who knows? But he says the profit's going to go back to Venezuela and the U.S. So it's not like, so it's not like it's all going to the U.S. So they say.
Well,
You think they're going to be
there's a
transparent with
national
that?
reserve.
Sorry.
You think they're going to be transparent with the books?
Oh yeah.
I don't know about
I
that.
heard.
buddy.
I heard Elon Musk is coming back in town and he's going to straighten everything out.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. I'm glad you heard that.
No, but there's something called the National Reserve, and it's so America's currency is actually a fiat currency. It's not based on gold. It's not based on silver. It's not based on copper. It's based on all this other bullshit, to include oil. And we create a national reserve of oil. We have massive fields of giant tanks where we store tons of fucking oil as the national reserve of oil for America. And our currency is partially based upon it. I guarantee you that's exactly where that fucking oil is going to go. After that, he's going to do things and be like, hey, I said this money's going to go to Venezuela, so I'm going to have a shipment of beans go over there, and I'm going to say it's worth this much. So there you got your money back, bitch. That's how it's going to work. Thank you.
I don't know. How are we going to benefit from the gaining of Venezuela's oil, as in like the average middle class?
Prop up
Well,
our
of all accounts, your refineries that were closed recently, I think in New Jersey, right down the south there, there's a few there that they refine. Is it dirty oil, or is it like sludgy oil? It's like the thickest oil. And these refineries only like refine certain types of oil, and of all accounts, Venezuela's got a lot of it, and that might be moved across to be refined. I'm not 100%, but obviously their infrastructure's fucking shit at the moment, isn't it, over there? Because I haven't been touched for 25 years. So it would make sense to move it across, maybe bring up some dock workers, and make something on the side as well.
I mean, I think a long-term partnership agreement with them would be very beneficial for us in the long run. and they're on a pathetically low amount of oil that they are actually getting out of the ground and refining there, right? I mean,
Currently.
yeah, but the potential for it is massive.
Huge.
Right.
So us getting a part of that, getting in on the ground floor and make sure it's long term or forever is extremely smart. And hell, you know, I don't know. I hate to be like the world freedom spreader, but I like to see people when they feel like they're happy and they feel free and shit, you know. And if we did that, I'm not like happy about it, but I'm also, in a sense, like there's some sort of like pride involved, you know. Same thing. And I know we're not really involved, but when I see women in Iran taking off their hijab and fucking throwing it into a fire, I'm like, fuck yeah, freedom, you know, freedom, fucking freedom, man. That's what it's all about. So.
I like Venezuelan protests I've been seeing, and then you're seeing these like traditional leftist commies. They've literally just come from the Pali protest last week, and now that Venezuelan, and they're complaining. They call a dictator knocked out a dictator, and then occasionally you'll see a Venezuelan national that's obviously living in America, and they go, "What are these fucking? None of these from Venezuela. They're all fucking commies. Just bought the Venezuelan fags. They've got nothing to do with Venezuela. They haven't got a clue what's been going on in Venezuela for 20 years." And
I was at a protest today. I was at a pro Maduro protest just today at 1:00, and I asked several times, "Is there a Venezuelan here?" I couldn't find one. I found a Cuban. I found not a Cuban. Sorry, a Colombian lady. Couldn't find a Venezuelan. The only Venezuelan I found came down with the British Patriots and just told them they're all effing idiots because they don't know what the hell's going on and they've been under oppression for 27 years. That was it. That was the only actual Venezuelan that showed up, and he wasn't even on the side of the protesters.
It's the same throughout the world, Banksy. It's literally the same. I've seen it in New York. I've seen it all over these places, right? Los Angeles and stuff. And like I said, you'll see a Venezuelan national on the side looking in, going, "What the fuck are these people doing?" They're all saying the same thing.
Yeah, it's comical for sure. It all stems from one thing: absolute hatred of one man and his administration, of course.
No, it's not even. It's not a hatred of just Trump. It is the hatred of the Western civilization. I'm telling you, these guys. If Satan had a country, if Beelzebub had a nation, and America didn't like it, these people will be carrying "Satan is good" flags, and you know, we must support Lucifer. These people just hate whatever country, a state despises the West and Western hegemony in the world. That's it. It doesn't matter who it is.
How could they back him? How could they back this dictator? They're literally backing a dictator against what they're calling another dictator, which is Trump, but he was democratically elected. Overwhelmingly.
If the Iranian regime falls in the next, let's say, month, I guarantee you London will be crawling with the pro-regime flag marchers, flag shaggers. They'll be running around going, "Why? What have you done? Why did you get rid of the Ayatollah?"
You know, there's a funny comical aspect to this too. In relation of comparison, the people who would have supported Maduro would be probably what you would consider to be like conservative. And the people who are in the streets celebrating and dancing and partying are probably liberal Venezuelans. So the liberals here are somehow backing the conservative dictator, and they're going against the liberal Venezuelans who are the ones who want freedom. It's just like a mind bog. It's not like they're going against a bunch of conservative Venezuelans. Like, no, you keep him in. He's like A liberal dictator? No, doesn't exist.
This is the thing, Steve. There was I didn't see it myself, but there was a guy that was telling me about a Venezuelan who was marching before this whole thing with Maduro. He was marching anti-ICE marches and anti-immigrant, Trump and immigration policies, and now he's happy that his country's finally got rid of the dictator, and he's like, "What the hell are you guys doing?
Exactly.
We didn't want this guy."
Right.
and he was like a total liberal.
That's what I mean. I would think a lot of Venezuelans are going to be liberal that want him the fuck out of there. And like, why the liberals here are like, oh, freedom. Yeah, great. You know, I understand the argument of not.
But there's a little problem. Because who's a dictator? It's just people that the US does not like because the US, for example, supported Saddam Hussein, who was a dictator, yeah? So this is a problem because you talk about international law all the time and all this shit, and the West complains about Russia invading Ukraine and this shit, and then you go and invade the country and take their oil. You know, that is a joke for me. Yeah.
So
I see the comedy. I'm not gonna lie, I see the comedy there.
So I think that everyone should do whatever they want now and fuck international law. Yeah, that's it.
There is no international law.
It.
This is the problem. People think that there is a thing.
Everyone doing what they want is what's been happening.
Yes, there is no this thing about international law.
Has.
International law only matters if you can enforce it. Who's going to enforce the laws? Who's going to put America on trial here? Please, madam, go ahead. You tell me. The European Union? You think the European Union, the United Nations? Who's going to enforce these supposed international laws?
The larger issue I really see, though, but between both the subjects we just talked about, I believe it really comes down to the social concept of tribalism. And there's an interesting connection I came across earlier, just to get a little bit nerdy, as the tribalism factor carries a lot harder in people with specific patterns. For example, people that are super tied into sports, that they are like, this is my team and fuck that team. They're much more likely to equally be tied into politics like that. Like there's people that are very tribal, that is my group versus their group. And there's other people that are like, hey man, both sides kind of have a point. And even with like the shooting situation, it's easy for like, my personal position is that, hey, the officer was wrong tactically and caused problems that escalated the issue. Also, the chick was wrong in every fucking way and kind of caused the issue. The same thing carries into like these different discussions on like the oil, anti-America, pro-America, the liberals, the Democrats, the Republicans, all these other things. It all comes back to like people having a very tribal view of saying us versus them. One party is wrong. I can't acknowledge fault with the other one. I have to just sit here and talk about how one party is wrong because that's pushing my group and everything in my interest, you know?
The thing is, Hells. I've said this before anyway, so I'm gonna get burnt on the internet for it. So let it
nice.
People think there is the good side and the bad side. The reality is, there is my side and their side, and fuck their side. That's it. My side has to win. My side includes Great Britain, includes America, includes Western hegemony over the world. And I don't give a shit what the other side thinks of me, whether they're good or bad and whether we're moral or we're not. The fact is, I want my gas prices to be lowered. I want my petrol prices to be lowered. I want my electricity prices to be practically zero. So if Venezuela has to get it in the ass for me to get these things, then Venezuela takes it in the ass and might thank me for it if we give them some food in exchange.
Hafez,
That's it.
Hold on, I gotta call him out. I want to call him out. Where is the line? Where is the line? Where is the line where you yourself will say that's not okay? That's going too far for me to have my gas prices lowered.
Who? No, there is no line. There is no line. Margaret Thatcher said it in the 1980s. If I have to destroy a country in order to progress my own, I will destroy a country. And we've done it. We've done it historically all over the place. We've literally ran countries into the ground because we wanted their shit.
I really feel like you're driving home the point that I just made, though, of saying tribalism, us versus them, is the wrong thinking mentality. Like 100%. That's exactly what you're describing. But you're saying in generalism, like
That's why we've done
the
so
way
well.
that everybody thinks. There's people that think other ways. There's people that can't acknowledge and say like, hey, I think the girl was wrong, and I think the officer was wrong. I think there was
you know what they're called?
Without saying
they're called shithole countries. They're called shithole countries.
But I mean, it's not even a country
there's
thing.
like
it's
half
not
of the
a
panel in
Republican.
here.
It's not a Democrat thing. Like it's a everybody thing. It's a human nature issue. There's actually a chemical. I can't regurgitate the name of it off the top of my head. I've been studying neuropsychology recently, but there's a chemical released in your brain that tells you like, hey, this is part of our group. They are belonging to us. They need to be protected and they need to be argued for. And it's something that's very controlling and manipulated by American society and all societies and technology. Look at this awful thing that they're doing over there. We need to jump on that. We need to kill that view. We need to argue against it. We need to destroy that. It's offensive to us. And that tribalism, I think, is the thing that's ripping human society apart. It's something that came from ancient caveman days.
Wait there. We've had tribalism since day dot, right? And it's been pretty fucking successful, right?
I mean, now,
wait there. Now, what we got now for all Western countries, West is bad, white is bad, bad man, bad people, right? And we can't be proud of who we are, our culture, and our ethnicity. We can't be proud of that. So that's what's destroying the Western world as we see it now.
But it's
before that, this tribalism, this knowing who we are and we look after ourselves, worked really well.
I want to hear RW's.
Depending on where you're born.
I want to hear RW's.
Well, yeah, like I said, you have shithole countries with shithole ideas.
What is my rebuttal towards?
You were going against something big time.
I mean, I don't have a rebuttal. I think that I appreciate the honesty of Hafez saying his view openly. I don't think I've come across many people that are willing to say how openly they back their way of life. I don't agree with him. I think I have a different line, but I have nothing against him in his opinion.
Sure. Not a rebuttal. Then what's your opinion?
I think that controlling our nation and making sure we're secure around ourselves is complicated. We're openly going for Venezuela for resource power, and I also think controlling our major enemies of Russia and China. So when it comes to national security, I will have a say. I am not going to go and kill anybody for oil. I personally am not going to do it. But at the same time, I'm buying fuel for my vehicle, so I don't really know what to say.
One thing I wanted to quickly address, Hells, in regards to conflating the situation when it comes to foreign policy and versus this young woman, young lady young woman getting killed in America. I will draw the line, and I will look into nuance when it comes to my people, those within my border. So yes, this situation is Americans killing Americans, and that has to have nuance, and you have to be much more careful and much more thoughtful about how you act amongst your own people. So right. No, I don't want that level of tribalism. I'll burn the other side down to the ground when it's my people, because this is my people. But when it comes to the guy in the other country, see, the problem is you guys have forgotten the old world. You think we live in some Star Trek hippie commune globally. No, we don't. The people around the world don't think we live in a hippie commune in some Star Trek, universe. They still deal with the old world. There is you and there's them, and they'll burn your house to the ground in order to make sure theirs survives. And the Chinese and the Russians, they're playing that game. And if you start playing this hippie commune game where we're all one and, imagine all the people bollocks, John Lennon, then you are actually playing asymmetric game. They're playing the game in order to burn you down, in order to get all the advantages and all the resources, whilst you are trying to negotiate with them. You're trying to be nicey with them, and you're screwed if you're playing this asymmetrically.
Meanwhile, we keep getting more powerful, and you keep getting more weaker.
If I could respond to this, I will say two things. There's speak softly and carry a big stick, kind of America's thing. Hey, we're going to enable free speech. We're also going to do this. Second is theater warfare. If you actually dig into the way that warfare is conducted since about, I think, 1995, early 2000s kind of time frame, it's divided into theaters. And 2 theaters recently got added. One of them was space. That's why we have the Space Force. The other one is cyber. Now warfare is conducted on cyber, with countries pushing propaganda measures. It was kind of started and created by Russia. They really pioneered the shit, and they were very good at it, and they've been very effective at it about attacking other places and making them hate each other. But at the same time, yes, that is actually addressed. And while America is accepting of other views, there's a lot that we do and a lot that we do behind the scenes to counter enemy propaganda that is on scale. And it's literally, we have teams of human beings that are dedicated to that. It's actually a large piece of the Department of Homeland Security, which people don't know is like 5 times the size of the CIA. Anyways.
You have a valid point when it comes to, like, he was talking about how if we all have the John Lennon version and that's what we're fighting for and everything, I think that other nations are spending a lot of time psyoping that view for the United States to follow so that they can continue to war against us. And we have no idea how that even, and counteracting that on a cybersecurity level, I think there's a large conversation to be had on that. No, I'm not sure about right at the moment, but I think that's a very deep topic.
Yeah, and on the other hand, when you've got, I mean, this is my take. If you have foreigners telling you how you should behave in your country, I mean, you should just be able to just say fuck right off to that. Like, I wouldn't, I mean, personally. Well, no, it's not even, they are foreigners in your, I'm a foreigner in Britain, okay? Doesn't matter how much I love. No, but it doesn't matter how much I love Britain, how much I adore this country. I am not of this land. My heritage comes from elsewhere, so I will have natural biases towards that. I would never allow a foreigner to be in the management position of my country. Go and look at India. How many Indians have been presidents of China? How many Pakistanis have been president of India? They'll never allow such a thing to happen. Well, the English literally just went there and said, "We own this." So they didn't ask for permission. They just rocked up to the shores of India and said, "Yeah, we own this now. We're going to run this place."
They won the country then, was it?
The only thing we can rejoice in is that Mondami will never be president because.
Yeah, there you go. But what I'm saying is, you have to look into these things. I would never be comfortable with a non-Englishman being the prime minister of this country, and we had it, and he was shit. He was, but to be honest with you, I think even the white Englishman that we have, the current one, is an absolute traitor to this country. So, it's not like we're going to always get the best, but I would always put my trust in the hands of an Englishman to run England or Britain than I would any other nationality. I don't care. You can call it racist, you can call it whatever. Look around the world. You tell me how many non-Russians have been the president of Russia? How many non-Chinese have been the president of China? How many non-Japanese have been the president of China? Japan.
At what point did being a nationalist become a bad thing? Like, if you were patriotic towards your nation and you wanted your nation to be run by your own nation, like, when did that become like poo-pooed?
When they labeled it as such, but it isn't. If your thing you check on the box on any application would be white and you love your nation, does that make you evil? I mean, those two words together. Whoa, boy, watch out. White nationalist, yikes.
The thing is,
like, it's the worst thing in the history of the world, right?
Yeah, you can be a black nationalist. You can be a black nationalist, no problem.
This sort of situation is easier when it comes to countries like India or Iran or Saudi Arabia and England and Germany, because these are old nations. That where it gets a little bit messy and a bit more confusing or blurred is the countries like the United States, the New World, Australia, New Zealand. These are not being ran by the natives of those lands. They're being ran by the colonialists or the settlers of that.
You meant
these
the
nations.
corporations that you?
Well, now it's all corporations. But what I mean is in its original form.
Topple.
So that's where things get a little bit more blurred, if in my opinion, that who is an American and who is truly loyal to America. Can you say Barack Obama was truly loyal to America, or was he playing?
I mean, I wouldn't even. I mean,
some
I'll
other
say
cards.
you'd have to separate politicians from civilians and have that question for two different things.
Well, it's about being sort of like, in our case, it'd be white English. And Obama, where was his heritage? Was it Hawaii, Kenya, or something?
Depends on how much you trust that document.
No, all I'm saying is
Current
it's
knowledge
like
is that
it's
he's
a
an American, and there's no thing to tell us otherwise. So, I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
Hawaii
But
isn't like
that's
Ray
what I
B
mean.
American. He's still an American.
Yeah,
That's the question.
But like I said, you if you're born in this stable, it doesn't make you a horse, does it?
But at the moment, the way I see Europe, I'll be honest with you, I think you guys in America, you've got a bit of a breathing space with the Trump sort of era. But Europe, we're screwed. We are circling the drain extremely fast, and I'm worried. Frankly, I'm worried because I'll be honest. Even if Iran is free tomorrow, I ain't moving to Iran. This is where I'm gonna die. And I'm just seriously worried that what the hell we're headed.
Right? Or what? I'm sorry.
What do you mean?
Well, he said that's where he wants to die, and I was just making a joke that you have a lot of pokey folks going on over there.
Yeah, I just need to walk into a Somali-rich area, a diverse area, for a couple of hours
He's
with an
taking
iPhone
it so
17.
much farther than I took it.
I mean,
I need to visit the Leering Center.
I mean, Banksy, when you're saying about, like you said, that they should, I don't think they should hold public office. See? I mean, if you're not ethnically English or British, you should not hold public office because you'll have biases, like just like you automatically said, and logically that would make sense. So yeah, I think you have to be ethnically British, meaning English, Welsh, Scottish, and Northern Irish. If you're not, you shouldn't be allowed to hold public office. Otherwise, you'll get what we got now. We got, is it 70? I don't know. Is it Muslim MPs, and then we got the 5 that are like the radical ones, the Islamists.
Yeah.
In Parliament at the moment. I mean, we got this.
Well, yeah. I mean it's a
they
nightmare.
shouldn't be there. They shouldn't be there. I mean.
But the fact of the matter is, the irony is based. First of all, in this country, we have to say those things in like whispered corners now because you could end up being dragged off to jail. That's not even remotely a joke. That is like literally what could happen right now. The statement Base made could put him in jail, depending on how far and wide that gets spread. Speaker's Corner itself is a very different environment. It is a unique situation with Speaker's Corner. But what he just said online, if this thing went viral, if this was on X, he'd get a knock on the door. And many have, by the way. Many have. But what I'm saying is,
make this thing viral. Turn around and jump.
Let's make it viral.
Jump through your window, Last Dance.
Take one for the team. The Welsh can get arrested.
Banksy, they didn't knock on my door. They went to my work. They went to my business, man. They went to my business.
There you go.
They fucking walked into my business.
So I mean, that's the state we're in. We're not even allowed to say that a non-British, Anglo, or native should not be. As in anyone that's not a native.
I think the Overton windows moved. I think the Overton windows moved, and I'm not making any direct things. I'm just saying what I'm saying. I believe you need to be ethnically British to hold public office in the UK. So I'm not saying anything that's untoward.
But
Mind
don't you want more Leering centers in Britain? And by the way, you guys think that we're getting screwed. You guys getting screwed for 18 billion. trust me when I tell you that no one wants to investigate the Leering centers in Britain. No one's even close to investigating because they won't even let you investigate these. We are getting screwed up the wazoo with this kind of bullshit in every department. It's no one has the balls to even investigate it.
You're saying a lot of fraud in the UK for?
Yeah, we have fake colleges. Is the one example, and what this
fake education establishments.
You walk literally down like tourist areas of London, and it'll say London so and so college, and it's not a college. It's not. It's just literally a way of getting work permits or getting a student's visa.
Get a student visa. This is how they get student visas. Sell student visas essentially.
And you literally go under yards on the road, and it'll be Churchill College. Churchill, that's a nice name. And then down the road, you one called Winston, and literally you'll have all these British names like Victoria London College. And they're just fake. They're just fake unis.
I was just thinking, Smoke Steve Wife's just said Trump College. I just thought of Trump University. That's fucking hilarious. She is a fucking hater. That's for damn sure. That's funny.
She's a spark plug. That's the way I like to.
She is, yeah. Even though she's from Vermont and she drives Subarus, she's a spark plug.
Actually, she's never. I don't know if she ever had one. I had a grocery getter. I had an Outback for a while.
Yeah,
I'm not.
She drove it though.
No, I bought it maybe when we first met each other, but that thing was incredible in the snow, dude.
Those things fucking shit and get, dude.
When you have good tires on an all-wheel drive Subaru, they are badass. I mean,
you need tires, don't you?
They don't like
without
they don't sink down into the snow and get you bottomed out. If you know how to drive them, you just keep them moving, and you'll fucking get through anything.
Sure.
If you stop, you might be stuck, but you just stay on it.
I watched the Matt Rhodes off-road recovery, really good YouTube thing, and he lowers the tire pressure. No, I know people used to have done it in the past, and I know about it. But what a difference! All of a sudden, the tire's spinning, and he just lowers the pressure of the tire. Now he can drive out through the dunes. And it's like, what the fuck? Just completely changed everything just by lowering tire pressure. But I don't know. I tangented off there. I don't know where we were there. Sorry.
No, it's all right. It's all right.
But,
So where were we? We were sort of veering off, I guess, right?
Can we touch on Greenland at all? Does anybody care about that, or is that just trash?
Toyota topple.
Trash.
All right.
Wow. Last Dance. Executive order on that one.
I know, man.
No, I just you asked, I answered. I don't have other people can answer.
Well, there's 57,000 Greenland people, and for example, if Trump gave them all £500,000 US, I think with a referendum, I think that might work.
I feel like the Greenland issue does represent a cultural issue that I do take with America. I love America. I'm American. But there is a level of imperialism there that's kind of fucking toxic, of America saying that, hey, we need to own this country.
Isn't it?
And I do understand why. Yes, but there's a massive tactical issue why Greenland is very pivotable, like for our global presence. Like having that territory would be a massive benefit to us in order for ensuring our interests. But the idea of us owning it, kind of fucking horrible. It's the same thing as I take with like Venezuela. Like, why the fuck are we gonna sit here and run Venezuela? We can't even run our own shit right. Like,
but
yes,
no one
actors or whatever.
No one can run their own shit right.
Yeah.
No one can run their shit right.
But it does come down to America has for a long time had economic imperialism. It's been the new model for a long time, where essentially we enslave other countries with debt and we play games with that. And there's ways that we leverage our rights in other places, and we say, hey, we're gonna give you money for this, but you're gonna grant us these rights, et cetera, et cetera. Even that I think is bad. It's a much more controlling nature. Yes, it's ensuring American interests, but in a very predatory way. The angle that they've taken on Greenland, though, like I think is super negative. Every bit as much as like the whole like, hey, we should own Canada or Mexico.
Right.
Yeah,
Fuck,
I agree.
fuck no, let's not. Let's do
Well,
our own
it's like-
thing. Like,
Russia at least came up with a good excuse, like the Ukrainians were Nazis or something, and like Trump, he don't even give a shit. He's just like, we're taking it.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
Russia
yeah.
also had the encroachment of the NATO and isolationist.
Well, what about the Viking threat to America?
well, they
Well,
also,
like if I
Hey,
could
man.
just say about the
no idea.
Greenland thing,
They drink beer and rape our women.
They've been here before.
Yes.
Apparently,
savages.
yeah,
apparently we don't have any Curse of Oak Island fans on here tonight.
yeah, to New Hampshire too. Like there's some like 1,000-year-old supposed Viking
Ships or boats?
no, like rocks, holes, fires, things like that. Like I don't know.
Pottery.
They
Camp.
put together a few possible things in New Hampshire. I don't know. Anyways, on the Greenland thing, like Hells, you mentioned the Venezuela thing. Like the Venezuela thing is easier to swallow because of the dictator and because of like the oppression of the people. I'm not saying it was good or bad. Like Greenland is just like this somewhat peaceful, benign like country, and you can't just go throw Delta Force in there. First of all, who are you going to remove? Like, what do you do? It's Denmark. I mean, it's just. I mean, I understand it. It's the
that's
biggest
not going to
island
happen,
in
though,
the
Steve, is
world.
it?
It's categorized as the largest island in the world, which it's
Wow.
really big.
Take
And
that,
it-
Australia.
I don't know how Australia
So it's
doesn't
not an
count.
island.
I don't know how it doesn't count, but this is what I've heard.
Do we or do we not have active military bases in Greenland?
We have
Yeah.
one.
Also, one of the big issues, though, is that Greenland has been playing ball with Russia. Russia has been setting up military assets in Greenland, and that's one of the
No.
big threats.
Have they? Have
Yeah.
they?
Where is
Yeah.
Russia?
Yes, they
Greenland?
have.
Really?
That would be.
Yes. And it creates a pipeline of striking distance and a couple other things.
Yeah.
Like there is like
Exactly.
strategic threats to America because of what they're doing. But also it's their fucking choice to do that, And it's like, hey, I mean, I understand why they're pushing the thing. I just dislike the way that they're pushing it.
No,
It-
Russia is not in Greenland. Where is
There's
Russia?
no
in
Russia is
Greenland?
not in Greenland.
Yes, they are.
They're in the
Where?
Arctic.
Russia has assets in Greenland, 100%.
Americans and geography. Oh my god, come on.
I can.
I mean, the reason why Greenland is so important.
Get in touch with me. I'll throw some information your way if you want. But yes, Russia has assets in Greenland. Greenland's playing ball with them, and they are also involved in some of the trade issues. And there's a reason that America's leaning on them. But it's Greenland's fucking choice.
Are you
The
confusing
Greenland's
Greenland with
Venezuela.
Siberia?
Greenland's not as bad as Venezuela. Greenland's just
No,
like,
I'm just
hey, man,
saying,
we don't give a fuck.
they're Venezuela. Let's go.
Yeah. Hey, we got an iceberg up there no one's using. Oh, you're gonna give us fucking $5 million to
Look,
fucking
look,
around there for a year? Okay.
I'm going to put a hard disagreement on the Russia having military assets in Greenland.
Well, check it out.
Chat,
Google it.
chat.
Okay.
Check it out.
Oh,
That's
I mean,
fine. I mean,
I mean, if the Trump
Ask him if it's already
administration is
on it.
still
I can
around,
tell.
and they
Yeah,
try and butter
He's
up
got the can of
population,
oil going onto the rusty old gears in his head going right now.
Okay. I'll look for it right now, but it does involve me diving into a lot. Like it'll probably take me like 20 minutes. to
Worth
find
it. Google Gemini
Greenland
says no.
with, something else. Russia is not in Greenland. Definitely not.
Worth it.
I disagree.
All these people trying to tell you you're wrong, Hell's time to.
It's geography and Americans, yeah?
I'm
Sorry,
only
but
disagreeing with you.
it's a
because
joke here in Germany, yeah?
If I feel something is completely untruthful, like factually, then I'm going to just say I disagree. But I'm happy to accept it if proven wrong. So that's all,
I mean, the only reason I'm standing my ground here is because I've come across information I feel is very well verified, and I do believe that Russia does have assets in Greenland, and I can dig it up. It's just going to take a long time because it's something I dove into like 8 months ago.
I mean,
you know what? You're on RW's Discord. I am too. Don't kill yourself now. Find it. Grab it.
That's what I say. Like I can after the fact, I can bring stuff up.
Yeah, that's fine.
Until then, they're calling bullshit on you.
That's fine. That's fine. And I always appreciate skepticism. I am saying stuff that, it's like the other day when I brought up that there is a barg that's converted that's launching special operations into Mexico, and there's active military strikes going on in Mexico, and you have MARSOC deployments going on in Mexico. There's a lot of people that said, no, that's bullshit. There's no way that's happening. It's completely fucking impossible. And again, something I could source, and people are like, "Oh wait," or the fact, "Hey, we're in like 23 fucking countries in Africa right now, active U.S. military forces and strikes going on right now in Africa." Everyone's like, "No, there's no way that's a thing." Yeah, it's happening.
Well, yeah, I know we did that in Nigeria, and I assume that is certainly continuing on. And yeah, I know we like to stick groups of badasses around the world here and there, just fucking run the show. So it wouldn't surprise me.
What was interesting to me was that the proposal is a purchase. I'm not sure how we can afford to purchase Greenland at the moment, considering that our bank account is a little
print the money.
low.
It's okay. We just print the money.
We'll just borrow more money from
Yeah,
China.
I mean,
Another $1 trillion to the 38
it's not a lot of money.
debt.
It's nothing. Yeah.
What do you think? What do you
Oh,
think
oh,
the
oh,
value of Greenland is?
It's about 55,000. I heard.
$55,000.
Well,
No, I'm sorry. I was answering Biscuit.
Residents.
Okay, I was like, let's do it.
yeah,
The value of
57,000
Greenland?
people.
I don't know. I think he's closer. I think it's closer to 30.
Oh wow. Okay. Doesn't matter. Value of Greenland. That's
Google
a,
it.
I'm gonna say, like probably close to the. I don't know. Like
How do you even put a
our
value
national
on that?
debt is 38
It
trillion.
hasn't even got an economy. The economy is the U.S. base.
But it's a resource grab.
There's
So,
definitely-
Steve, what do you think it would cost, Steve, to buy Greenland? What would you say, Steve?
It's gonna be some. I think it's gonna be in the trillions. I'm gonna just say that.
The natural
And now
resources.
I'm into numbers that I'm so unfamiliar with that it's illogical. So I'll just say in the trillions.
Really?
Yes.
Just for their natural assets, not even the developed infrastructure or the people or anything else. The natural resources they have is pretty substantial, and they're rather
Yeah.
undeveloped.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. What's 500,000 times 57,000? Can someone do that for me, just to give me a total?
Half a million
I know
times 37,000 or whatever number you just said
57.
was 50
57.
so is probably
60
less
to make
than
it easy.
is probably less than the Leering Center costs. So
Yeah.
if we can get rid of the Leering Center, then we could pay for Greenland.
It's
I mean,
28.5 billion.
Right, 28.5 billion, right?
That's
To pay each resident £500,000. I think
18 and a half.
that's cheap.
So
Yeah,
I mean,
that
that's way
only
under a
covers
trillion.
each person. Then you're talking, okay, fine. Then add on the land, the country. It's
What do you
massive.
think? What do you think a square mile is worth in Greenland? Just throw out a ballpark number for a square mile of value in Greenland.
$100,000.
I wouldn't even know how to quantify a square mile, like an acre.
Well,
You
No,
know,
well, I can tell you an acre is about
Dude,
what?
rocket.
An acre
acres
a
is
square
real
mile.
estate numbers. I don't know anybody that sells
Acre's
by a
about
half mile.
40. It's about 44,000 square feet. So
An acre, I'm sorry to interrupt, but an acre is just smaller than a football field. If that puts it into
Not for mileage, bro.
Yeah, I can't translate between half a mile and acres, and everything I think about real estate prices goes in acres. Like that's
football
how,
field, acre.
you know.
So find the two closest numbers multiplied together that would equal 44. What would that be? So
44,000? That's not how much. That's like what up by you maybe.
44,000 square feet is an acre.
Oh, 44,000 square. I thought you $44,000.
No,
That's a little
44,000. Oh, up here,
44,000 square dollars.
There's
Uh,
roughly
how about-
535 million acres. So how much would you say an acre of land is worth in Greenland?
I mean, in
It's
Greenland,
mainly barren. It's mainly
$100
barren, though, isn't it? It's not even there.
Yeah, I
no,
bet the number is pretty low for residential as far as like saying that I have residential or commercial value in this. I think it's a completely different number as far as buying the rights as a country and saying that we're going to own this as a nation. I would put it below $50 an acre.
What would each person in Greenland take?
But probably, but the person in Greenland would probably take below $50 an acre. Like it'd probably be some low number like that, depending on where you are.
Not to just bribe them to vote for us to own the country.
But owning the country and buying the commercial or residential property are two very different animals.
Okay, I went to Iceland. Wait, let me just jump in. I went to Iceland on holiday, right? And I wouldn't say it's that much difference to Greenland. And what happened in Reykjavik?
No, Greenland and Iceland are two totally different places.
I know they're two totally different places.
Greenland is it's like frozen south.
Let me make my point, and you can agree or not agree then. So you got Reykjavik, and you haven't got fuck all else. You've just got one road that goes just around Iceland with literally like a 50 pence piece, and you would get like houses literally on their own, literally next to the road.
Did you say Reykjavik?
Yeah, I went to Iceland. Yeah, and Reykjavik, like
that's Iceland.
I know, but what I'm saying is that when you're going from the town, the prices are like, I wouldn't say obviously quite, but when you go into the wilderness, I mean, apart from the minerals, if there's no minerals up there, there's no value really in the land. I don't think it has any real value. It's quite barren. And Iceland's the same. It's just fucking, it's Reykjavik and basically not much fucking else. So, I'm sure Greenland's quite similar like that.
Grok is saying for usable land, acreage is $85 to $100 per acre. So that's incredibly cheap. So let's just go with that number, all right?
$100 is easy.
Let's say $100, right? So that's
$100.
That's $53.5 billion roughly for acquisition of all the land. That doesn't account for the land that's worth more, that's built up and all that. And I just wanted to get a base number for just to have a number.
What's the
using Grok then?
Dubs, what's the conversion for the dollar amount that we spent on Alaska for all the acres? Is the number somewhere? I don't even know what did we spend so many $1 million?
$6 million, I want to say. It was what they call it. It was Seward, right? Seward's Icebox was what, or Seward's Folly they called it at the time. That was the guy who initiated the purchase of it, and it turned out to be the most lucrative land purchase in the history of the world.
That was $7.2 million in 1867.
How much?
2 cents per acre, $7.2 million.
That's 2.2 cents per acre. It's still worth it in the future. It's cheaper to buy things today than it is tomorrow.
That's massive.
Regardless of how
Alaska, in comparison, Alaska versus Greenland, like major resource difference. But Greenland does have resource value. Getting to it and mining it and the damage to equipment and the brutal temperatures is different. But there would be a payoff. I think that controlling sea routes and having military presence there is good for national security.
Yeah,
we would get resource payback, but I just can't see financial acquisition happening of Greenland. I can't see it based on our current.
Well, I can for the security of the country. I can see why Trump wants it, because it'll be that buffer zone. So Russia are further away, and they can use it as a bit of a join-in sort of landing a bit better, etc. I get why he wants it, and I get why, hopefully, he does get it. Because I think for Western Europe, it will be a big plus to have that under American hands.
But who knows what Trump is thinking? He just says so many things, and who would have thought 2 months ago that he'd have Maduro in a prison in America? You just don't know where he's going.
That is pretty.
He
wild.
can say this and do that.
But to be fair, right? When you play with Trump, you find out. Mandela was there talking around, going, "Oh, come and get me, you fucking coward."
Whether you like him or not, he does crazy
shit. Ching. He goes, drink this.
Well, let's explore
hold my beer. Sorry. Hold my
explore
fucking
another
beer,
option.
Tom.
With
Yes,
Green-
Smoke Steve. Yes.
With Greenland, like, we don't need the whole motherfucking joint. If we wanted, could there be segmentation of areas, i.e., certain amount of square miles for military stuff, and they could have all kinds of parameters involved, not within a certain amount of linear miles to any population,
Sure.
and then they might be able to get some
That's just
areas for
complicated.
mineral exploration and sharing like the money with Greenlanders and of course with Denmark. Like,
Just offer them all jobs.
Trump's
Give
going
them lump sum payments.
It's
And
all,
and
it's all
and
too
they'll
complicated.
transfer.
Here's the real question. How many Greenlanders are vaccinated against smallpox?
Yeah. I don't know.
I can try and reference that. I do not know.
That's
I would
I
think.
don't know.
I would think the majority of them.
It worked once.
Oh my god.
Blankets.
Bloody
Blanket
hell.
party.
Bloody hell.
East Wind's on board.
Yeah.
these last dance, what'd you have? Another glass
Hey.
of fire water?
What's
Not yet.
that? What's that pillow company that Trump
My-
supported?
My
has?
Pillow.
What is what's
Yeah.
his name?
My
My
pillow.
Pillow.
Mike
Yeah,
Lindell.
but just send them.
Mike
send them
Lindell.
my blankets. We'll send them
My
my
blankets.
blankets.
You have to forgive Last Dance. He's a fan of glass beads.
Those pillows are
You guys need to try. You guys need to try the real Giza sheets. They're
Just to give it to the American armed forces. I mean, last week they went into Venezuela with 160 planes. With I don't know how many personnel. No one was injured. There was a little bit of damage on a helicopter, and they managed to get the cunt out, right, out of his bed and his missus, and fucking bring him out the country. I mean, to be fair, lads, that's fucking extraordinary.
But why are you saying that? Like, we should do that again, or what? Why are you saying that?
It'd be embarrassing
Well,
if he's acquitted, and we have to send him back.
yeah, right.
Did you hear anybody hear some of the testimony from some of the security guards?
I did hear that. I don't. It's interesting. I'm not sure I believe it. You mean about
There was
what was
multiple,
said?
there was multiple things. One of the security guards, this part I do believe, was saying like the volume of fire these guys were sending downrange was insane, like 300 shots a minute. That I do believe. These guys are Delta Force. But then there was other grumblings about some of the guys, like some of the Venezuelan guys got like uncontrollable vomiting and watery eyes and things of this nature, that they were claiming there was some sort of a sonic weapon or subsonic weapon. I don't know anything about that.
That's what I was skeptical about, is the sonic weapon.
The sonic weapon is a real thing, by the way. I've seen it in action.
I know.
In Serbia,
The awe
they
of
used it.
them, in awe of Delta Force, these operators operating. I don't find anything odd about that. That's normal. Like, yeah, these guys would blow anybody's mind coming into a room. But the fucking sonic thing, I don't know about. So it's like, what do you believe? Do you selectively believe, or do you believe it 100% of it?
Was there any kind of death
Well,
toll? Like death? Was there any release on that?
I've never
Maybe
seen
I'm
that.
wrong.
Did you see the guy who fired the shoulder-fired rocket at the U.S. helicopters?
Yeah, I saw what happened to him too.
Jesus.
Did he die?
One
I'm
helicopter
guessing
turned towards
that
him.
was the outcome.
The
Well,
fucking
there's at least one
missiles
death.
The missiles that come out of this helicopter are just like, probably 12 in like 1 second. It was insane. Hey,
Yeah. It's hellfire.
They're out of the 160th. They say they're the best in the world. The 160th.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
what are they? Black
Hawk?
Well, they use their helicopters only, for all I know. They're
it's a Air Force Special Forces Division. They call themselves Black something. I should know the fucking name.
no. These are the Night Stalkers.
The
are
Night
the ones
Stalkers.
that-
Night Stalkers.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was wrong. Yeah, I was wrong.
Yeah.
Do you think they were up there, doing their thing, and all of a sudden, whew, this rocket flies by, and they were like, "What the fuck?" And they turn towards that guy, and they fucking just obliterate him. I mean, how close? It's possible he could have hit one of them. I don't know. Like, I saw the video. The rocket comes from the ground, goes up towards the helicopters, and then they
Well,
like
the 160th, which are the Night Stalkers, they were the helo support, or they were the aviation in Somalia during
Right.
Black Hawk Down.
Right.
So they know what rockets coming up look like when you get hit by a
Oh,
rocket.
hell yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they're like the Navy SEALs of helicopters, essentially. Like they are the top of the line fucking group.
And I think it's Army. The 160th is Army.
Is it?
Yes, it's Army.
It's Army. Okay, I thought it was Air Force for some reason.
No, they were Army. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was very impressive.
Gentlemen, have a wonderful evening. I'm out of here. Good night.
Hey, thanks for stopping by, Banksy.
See you, Banksy.
Thank you.
Good man.
Nice one, thanks. Banksy. You already going?
I think he's going.
Yeah.
That's good.
Awkward silence here.
I'm just reading the back chats.
Okay, so because we had silence, last thing I'm going to say, then I have to bail out. I'm going to watch you, but I'm going to bail out. So the proof is that the U.S. dictates world events is more evident now than ever. So we invaded a country, I guess, and we took their leader, but we can do whatever Trump is doing. He is dictating, whether you like it or not, he is dictating world events for the next 3 years.
I think it's
Is that
we're
crazy?
just now doing it more that he's doing it very upfront, where a lot of others were like low key sneaky about it. Like Obama killed more motherfuckers than ever before in air.
Oh, the drones. Yeah.
Yeah, but he wasn't public about it. And everyone said like, oh, Obama's a weak president. He has a weak response to all this stuff. No, he was killing people left and right. He just didn't fucking talk about it. You know,
He started the cages. He started the cages on the border too that separated families. Because I remember those fucking
deported,
videos.
like more people than Trump ever did, and like everything was fucking kosher with that. But he was quiet about it. Trump's big issue is he has a loud fucking mouth.
Yeah.
And he's the first one that like he's doing shit really upfront, above board, just saying, hey, this is what the fuck I'm doing. Fuck it up, Buttercup, and like the optics. Well, like
Some might say he's braggadocious.
Braggadocious.
I mean, this is
I
what
think he's
about the
expedalicious.
about the narco votes. I keep on saying to everyone, the only reason why we're talking about the narco votes is because Trump's advertising the fact he's blowing the fuckers up. Most of them would say fuck all and blow them up.
Hey, I have to go tinkle, but and I'll be watching in chat later on. But thanks for having me up, Steve. Good to see you guys.
Take it easy.
Thanks.
Join back in.
Good night.
I'm so motivated.
Don't be a stranger.
You hear?
Take it easy, just Steve-O.
Steve-O, later, buddy.
I'm getting ready to bolt myself.
No, you gotta.
I came on early so I could leave early.
I come on and everyone's bailing.
Well, Top, you haven't said a damn thing. You've been there like.
You guys talk too damn much.
You guys just jump in, dude.
It's usually Base that's running their mouth.
Well, that's true.
Oh, did I?
Never been a more true statement
still
than that.
And he's offended.
Not one bit. I know he's not. What's up? How's everybody doing? I haven't seen.
Right.
Still Christmas here. So
how you doing,
I'm
Tom?
doing good. My son's back home. He leaves Wednesday, so that's why I got on late. We had a little get together.
Your tree looks less gay than I remember.
I can make it gay if you want.
Well,
He's got a whole set of gay lights. He can
It'd
turn
help
on.
my mood, if you know what I mean.
There it is.
I'm gonna call ICE. They're gonna shoot your tree, bro.
Oh, there you go. There's it. That's
Oh,
the gay tree I know.
Not where I live. I'm protected here.
Super gay.
Oh yeah, cool. Eastwind Farms actually put OU812 as the number after his name, which is the name of a Van Halen album, which is cool. I just noticed that.
Yeah. Van Halen. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, nice
it's
one,
only
boys.
one of the
I
greatest
love you
rock
as well.
guitarists ever.
I'll
Right,
see you,
Base.
Base.
Take it
Good
easy,
to see you,
Base.
buddy.
Thanks for
That's
stopping
for
by.
all of us.
I'll
Yeah.
see ya.
Enjoy. Yeah, they're awesome, whether you like them or not. Van Halen kicks butt.
Was that pre Sammy Hagar?
I don't mind Hagar. He's good too, you know.
It just doesn't seem Van Halen to me. Which is me. Oh, but speaking of music, are you you got to be, I know you're a big Grateful Dead fan, so you must be a little under the weather with the latest news that we've found out tonight.
Sad. It's sad. Bobby was of course Jerry was everything when it comes to the Dead.
Mhm.
So
he was the founder though, right?
Bobby was one of the founders. He just died, so I'll just say, rest in peace. He was a great member of the Grateful Dead. That's enough. I was sort of a Jerry guy, kind of when it comes to the music, but Bobby was certainly integral part of it, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Is this a talent comment or a style comment, or I don't get it?
A little of both, actually, frankly.
Okay.
But
I'm not familiar with them enough.
they were
To
great.
you, Jerry was more of what Grateful Dead meant to you.
Yeah, well, also Jerry was actually a pretty decent guitar player.
What happened?
In the real world of guitars.
I thought Jerry was dead. What happened?
Bob Weir died.
Oh, okay.
The other guy.
Duh.
78.
I mean, I thought he would have been older. And he was in decent shape. Kind of not like a Jerry, Jerry was in terrible shape, but
I wonder if he's grateful.
he certainly got
Yeah,
one
he's
more.
dead. Put him in timeout. Mute him.
I got nothing else to add. Go ahead.
Yeah, frankly, I always thought that was a cool name, the Grateful Dead. I know a lot of people didn't really get it. I know when I was a kid, I was confused by it. I was like, what the hell does that mean? I don't even understand. But
Well, what does it mean?
as I got older, I realized it's a name that just is designed to make you think, which I think it achieves. I think what does it mean is part of why it's good. It's because you're going to read that name and say, what the hell does that mean? I like that, something that makes you question it. Sort of avant-garde, and at the time, people were already hating on hippies, so they're like, well, we'll just call ourselves the Grateful Dead, and that'll probably freak them out even more, like.
I thought it was a Garden of Eden reference when the snake said, thou shalt not surely die. So basically, if they ate from the garden of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, they would surely die, and they're glad that they did that. They're Grateful Dead. That's how I always perceived the name. Other than that, I didn't understand it.
It's a good theory.
I haven't heard of that one. That's interesting.
I don't think so, because none of them were really. It's possible that they did come up with that. I don't know. Maybe this.
Grok say.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. I don't trust Grok on that one. I'll look though. I'll look for entertainment.
Whenever I think of Grateful Dead, I just think of me and my dad, because I always hung out with him, just like I do with my son on Saturdays, and drive around town and do his stuff, and he listened to like a more softer rock, where they had the Day the Music Died. That was more of a typical song on there.
Yep.
And Driving That Train High on Cocaine was always on there, and I'd sing it, and I'd be like, wait a minute, that's what am I saying here? Right around my dad,
Good night, Anna.
Night, Anna.
Good night, Anna.
So I'm literally going to ask somebody right now in the industry if they know the actual reasoning that.
Find out.
The connections?
I'm curious.
It has a reason.
He's dropping names over here. He's got friends in the industry.
Real quick,
Well, he's a sound engineer, but he does big tours, and he did the Grateful Dead, like being their sound engineer, or whatever, setting up their speakers and balancing their music. He's not anybody like real that matters, but he's toured with artists. So
I'm going to share a picture right now. This guy is now on Twitter, so give him a follow if you know who he is, or we'll see if anyone can guess who this is without a Google search.
Bob Saget. I was close.
Yeah, I never saw Saga with a. What is
That's photoshopped.
Oh, that's real.
That's the same. That's the same gun that's on Hell's back poster on his
Could
wall.
be.
Well, I mean,
What was it, an AR-15?
it's an M4, but also it
Yeah.
has the double mag, which you don't typically see, and also it's illegal to take pictures on a flight line for a military fucking thing. So it's probably from a movie.
That is Mike Vining. He's one of the founding members of Delta Force, and in that picture, he's one of the security. Delta Force was security for Norman Schwarzkopf in the first round of the Gulf Wars, I guess, in the 90s. So he's now on Twitter. Give him a follow. He's a cool guy, Mike Vining. He's an EOD expert and one of the OG founders of Delta Force. And look at it the way he looks with the glasses. They gave him, he's like the only guy in Delta Force they ever gave a waiver for sight.
Okay.
It's kind of hilarious.
Yeah, he looks like a pussy to me. I'll say it to his face.
I got a answer on the Grateful Dead thing. It's unfortunately a little more boring. Apparently, he doesn't know why they called themselves the Grateful Dead, but they started as the Warlocks and changed their name to the Grateful Dead because that name was taken, and they were pissed off about it, and they told them about it. So.
Grok adds the one little bit of flavor where because the Warlocks was taken, he flipped open a dictionary, and the first thing his eyes landed on were the Grateful Dead. That's Grok's definition.
Okay, well, that lines up with the guy that toured with him, so...
No, it might not have. It might have been maybe any book that would have an encyclopedia, maybe more likely than a dictionary. Last Dance is like, how would that ever be in a dictionary?
Why would it be in an encyclopedia?
Well, it could be a definition of a word in a dictionary. It doesn't mean that he's done.
A dictionary.
A dictionary has sentences after a word, so it could be a definition of a word that his eyes landed on.
But I mean, he really did send me this. Like, you can see, don't judge me on my fucking thing. I don't know if you read the words. Okay, that looks like shit.
It looks like Danny DeVito.
It is. He's Danny DeVito scarfing a bag of potato chips. I lost a bet, so that's my background for a while.
Good as reason of any.
But
Not
yeah,
bad,
I did just get a text that told me that. Like, I didn't fucking grok or AI. I did hear that from an industry person.
Hey, I try to use my talking points directly from Grok, so.
All right, guys. Always good to see you guys.
See you, man.
Look at him.
Where you go? Great night.
I'll know we said hi.
I'm going to watch some TV with my boy.
Take note. It literally
Take that.
just struck 10
Enjoy
o'clock.
the time you have.
All right.
All right, buddy. Have a great week.
I will. See you.
That's my boy's
Always good to
deal
see you
with,
guys.
with his little man. 10 o'clock.
That's right.
Out. Which I appreciate. You gotta love it, you know.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
I think last week he cheated and was on a little late, and he probably caught hell for it. So
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like what's one episode lost? That's not okay.
I mean, it's all good. I mean, we're a bunch of nobodies on here, and
I don't know,
Well,
man. I've been trying to branch out and find more streams, but there's literally no one that has the ability to have a conversation. Or if you're in the chat, they just straight up ignore you. It's like, what's the point?
exactly.
It is hard to find that.
What is the point? What is English talking about there, Duck?
Duck is the basis of the term, not the reason the band chose the name. I guess Duck as in the search engine.
Oh, okay.
DuckDuckGo.
I
Yep.
got you, buddy.
There's probably a emoji that was a duck.
Sure.
And it probably meant duck, duck, go. You know.
The mic
It's
is
got the
Oh, I can just look at it.
It's got that thing in front of it. What's that called? The two dots. I forget. Scum TV.
Colon. It's a colon.
Yeah.
Colon. That's
Not an
And
emoji.
then the one in the comma is the semicolon. That's the colon.
Bingo.
Scum.
Scum's here. What else happened? Did we forget something? Argentina.
Well, I mean, Scum might be able to talk towards the protests happening up his way if he's got any 2 cents on that, like why the guy got arrested or why people are being arrested. If it's just, if it's simple protesting and they're wrong place, wrong time, or if they're like breaking shit. I'm very curious.
What are they protesting about?
The protest is a Canada First protest.
Oh,
Well, who is it? Who are they protesting it against?
Most likely their own government if it's Canada First.
They're
Because I
fucked
don't
up
think
there.
Canadians consider their situation Canada first.
Like a
Well,
Canada protest?
I don't even know what Canada First means.
It's like MAGA. It's like it looks like they're basically doing CAGA. No, MACA. I don't know.
Kaga.
Something like that.
MICGA.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, right.
But
Was
yeah,
Canada ever great?
Does it what?
Was Canada ever great? When the
I mean,
Canadians were winning Stanley Cups, it
I
was
enjoyed
great.
going up there as a youth. I
Yeah,
thought they
I
had
think
really good French
Canada
bakery.
it has a lot of potential. It's certainly, I've known a lot of Canadians, and they've all been pretty down to earth dudes. This is the thing, like, if you define a nation by its government, you're not defining it by the salt of the earth, and the salt
I'm
of the earth
defining
up
it-
there are solid people, man.
I'm defining it by Stanley Cups, not by their government.
It's
They're fucking badass hockey players, that's for damn sure.
Yes, they do, but you got to bring the Stanley Cup back to Canada. Some Canadian team needs to win it.
Who keeps taking it?
American teams have won it for like 30 years in a row.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
That's
Well,
bitching.
Yeah.
There's a lot of parity in the league now, so great Canadians play on American teams for millions and millions of dollars. So it's not like
Right.
Canadian teams aren't all the Canadians only, and American teams are only Americans. It's fucking.
All that is true, but it doesn't change the fact that Lord Stanley's Cup has not been in Canada for a long time.
What about the Olympic game? Does Canada smash the U.S.?
Usually.
Yeah.
And in the World Cup, I think there's a World Cup of hockey. World,
coming up. We got them both.
World Championships.
I think World Cup and Winter Olympics are coming up in 2026. It's
okay.
Where's it at?
The Winter
Make some
Olympics.
money in Los Angeles. Where is it? It's
The
all over.
winner? The
In
winner
LA?
is at Los Angeles?
No
Well,
way.
I don't know about the winter ones, but I thought
summer.
I thought that LA was one of the spots for the U.S. Olympics.
No, I thought. Wait, we're talking about two things here. We got the World Cup. I think 4 or 5 matches are being played in the North America, in the United States, and then we've got the Olympics. So the Olympics, is it summer or winter?
Well, both.
I think the last one was winter, so I think the next one's summer.
Yeah, I think the summer might be in LA, but the winter one is on like, hey, where's it going to be?
The oven is on hot.
Okay, I understand.
Cup of Tea is bringing up one of the few things that I have seen this week about the UK trying to ban X because people are using Grok to make nudie pictures. And they're specifically going after Grok as opposed to Gemini and what's the other one, ChatGPT. But my understanding is that X is the only one that actually has a social media platform, where the other ones you can create those images, but it's not like everyone's accessing all of it. I don't know if you guys have 2 cents to weigh in on that one. I don't like that people are creating inappropriate images of like anything they're not supposed to, but they should be able to stop their AI from allowing that in the first place. So I don't really know what the argument is.
Is there an age restriction on X? Do you have to
No.
be 18 or older? There
Not
isn't?
that I know
Okay.
of. Not that I know of. And Canada is similar to Vermont, except Vermont has almost no gun laws. So Vermont is still
Nice.
U.S.
It's America, baby.
So, like on the legal side, though, like chat platforms and just social media platforms in general have exemption from the content that's posted on their platform because they don't control what's posted on their platform. It's probably a little bit different for an AI though, because AI can actually control what's allowed to be created. And I kind of do like that they're gunning for an AI. I just like that they're just going after one. They're going after one specific one with a political leaning, or whatever the fuck.
Right.
But going after them and saying, hey, we're not okay with you just creating this machine that can do anything and just letting it do fucking whatever. You need to control your fucking animal. You are creating this monster. You need to put safeguards in place. And even if it wasn't pedo style, like just if I take a picture of a random, I don't know, hot bartender that I saw, I probably shouldn't be able to have like AI be like, hey, take these 10 images of her in different outfits. I want to see her fucking naked. And it just be like, boom, 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 boom. Here you go. This is what she looks like under her clothes. Like, that's fucked up in itself, right?
I wouldn't say it's very moral, no.
Moral? No. But the question isn't morality, it's legality.
I don't think that should be legal.
Okay.
I don't think that you should be able to take a picture of me doing whatever I'm doing and then make that into a naked picture of me getting banged in the butt. Like, I don't think that should
I won't do that, I promise.
What about a guy who happens to be really talented at a type of painting called realism, who could conceivably see somebody and paint a really realistic painting of them doing
depends on what he does with it.
Things that you're describing?
Well, at least there's a consumer protection level that there is 20 people on the planet with this ability to do it so realistically that it may be confused and people think that it actually happened, versus AI that can be like, oh, I'm going to make an entire video of that. I'm not even just going to make an image of it. I'm going to make a whole video of this thing happening. Matter of fact, let's make it a 2-hour video of it unfolding. And let's tell everybody that a sex tape was released about you and you just did this. And by the way, you were just banging a pig or a sheep. And that happened. And out of context, I have no responsibility that my AI just made a video about you fucking a sheep.
So but it's not at that level though. So even like Don's saying, they paywalled it, so you have to pay for the rights to have someone bang a pig in a bikini. But they're also having it where if you create content that's illegal, it is all logged, and you will be prosecuted.
Yeah, so illegal in the internet doesn't mean very much. And I mean, it's the entire thing. Like Pirate Bay purchased an oil platform to say, hey, we're going to host some servers on an oil platform that's going to host all of this illegal pirated software on this server that doesn't belong to any country. And fuck you saying it's illegal. There's no law that this applies to. So what does it mean that this is illegal? Okay, if I'm on my $1 million yacht and I use it, I have internet access on my yacht, it's illegal to who?
I'm sure there's defined terms for the X platform. I'm sure there's defined terms for that.
For their platform, yes, but for using AI itself, all they can do is say, hey, we're going to cut access to your platform. They don't actually have legal latitude to go after you.
Well, they made it so Grok won't make a person nude, but now you can make it so the person has a very small bikini on them.
I'm sure that's making a lot of people.
You didn't show the nipple. It's not technically nude. The nipple was covered.
Well, now chicks who use their looks for influence are using it in reverse. They're taking a picture of themselves and then asking Grok to show them what it would look like in a bikini, and then they'll show a picture of themselves in a bikini and compare it to how good Grok did or whatever. So
is that what? Okay, that's what's going on Twitter. All right.
Yeah, and then
I've been seeing a lot of that crap. I'm like, okay, whatever.
I'm sure you have, Toffel.
Hayden Hewitt, Hayden Hewitt took some dude who looked like Danny DeVito and was like, it wasn't Danny DeVito, but show me him in a bikini. I don't know
with
who
chips
it was.
all over his hairy chest.
And of course, Grok made it happen, and it was a classic. Hey, love the guy, wish him the best. But this is where it is. Other people like Ricky Gervais, who's sponsoring a Dutch Barn alcohol brand, had Grok put a liquor bottle in a bikini. So people are using it not just for nefarious purposes, but for any purpose. It's become a bit of a thing right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I could theoretically do it for myself. It would be incredibly disturbing, though. One. No, seriously, you can it'll put any, I think, person or object in a bikini or dog or anything. I don't know.
So that's the main reason why the UK wants to ban Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it.
I mean,
it's because they're worried about kids seeing people, or they're more. Oh.
So like to draw back to another subject as a subject of debate of how do people feel about cartoon lolly porn? Yes, it's a cartoon. It's something that somebody drew, but they just drew a picture of what looks like an 8-year-old having sexual
Oh,
activity.
fuck that.
So I feel that that's wrong, personally. I feel that that should be illegal. I dislike sexualizing children. I think it's disgusting. That is my personal take.
I think
There's
that
other
would be
people
a
that argue
violation.
like, hey, but I said it was a 1,000-year-old dragon that just their image looks like a 6-year-old girl, so it's okay to see them get fucked, right?
No, I think that would violate some laws in places that
In
even
places,
like
yes.
in our
Not in
even just
Japanese
an artistic depiction of any of that, which we'll just call CP for this purpose,
Okay.
is going to result in an illegal thing, whether it's cartoon or not. I don't think you're allowed to even go down that road.
You're not allowed to on platforms. For example, one of my expertise is knowing the TOS for Discord. I manage a lot of communities and recommending them stuff. That's one of their very hard standards is do not sexualize children. And it's one that I've got into multiple times of dealing with people. They're showing these cartoon images of what obviously looks like a 6-year-old or a 10-year-old in a sexualized manner. And I'm like, hey, this is a Discord violation. And they're like, no, well, technically that goes back to this anime, and that girl in the anime is 25 years old and has a condition or whatever the fuck. And I'm like, no, man.
I would say that they're the one with the condition.
Yeah, that
Mm-hmm.
they're arguing
Right.
something that is irrational to general society. Their rationale is ridiculous. So
Yeah,
therefore,
but the legality though doesn't really nail that way. You don't have that legal law in Texas that says, hey, if I draw some cartoon lolly porn, I will have legal repercussions in Texas. Like it doesn't exist in the federal level or the state level or any level. People can do it. It is legal. I feel it's very wrong. I like that being attacked in any way that it can be done. But that's kind of part of the argument I see with that is like, hey, maybe let's not let AI do this because at least then perverts have to have their own personal level of skill and they can't just have a machine do it for them.
agree. And also, obviously, Discord's a private company, so they can say fuck you to anybody who's doing anything and say, no, we don't want that here. We don't care what law is a law. It's our rule.
Yes.
And secondly, yeah, this is a fine line. So you have to apply the same thing to the creation of it. You can't, maybe you can allow, I don't know how specific you would have to be with some sort of a law. Is it that AI is not allowed to manipulate any photo, whether it's of an adult or a minor, or is it, can you manipulate it in such a way, like what if you ask it to put tattoos on a person, or
If they can't have the AI distinguish when loopholes are being broken, like the whole thing people are getting around the filters, right? So if they can't create the algorithm that can, get rid of as many possible backdoors and loopholes as possible, then they're going to have to my only understanding is that they'd have to kind of reel it back and say, you don't have the access to do this, or at least the access to do this and post it, or I don't know. There's got to be some type of reeling back. Otherwise, there's.
I think they'll be able to. It will be a countermeasure game, but I think they'll be able to keep up. It's all about the prompts.
But even if it creates the image, it should be able to go back and look at it and see if it matches a certain checklist. And if it doesn't,
that's a possibility, but it's much easier to police the prompts. Sure. If someone asks you, how many ways can you ask an AI to draw an image of a child or someone who's under 18? There probably are not that many ways because that AI you could fool it into doing it.
Yeah. Make her look like a midget that also looks like she's.
Sorry.
What?
I don't want to add more. I don't want to give people with no creativity the ability to have creativity.
Right. But I agree with him that you could police the prompts pretty easily and identify like, hey, this person's obviously trying over and over to make this look more and more like a thing.
Red flag the
And
shit out of that
if these
motherfucker.
companies are actually making money, you could have some sort of a automatic prompt detector search thing that is basically going to find 90, maybe 5% of it, and then you have maybe some actual human beings that actually go over some of this stuff and maybe find the difficult ones that aren't being flagged and actually remove them. It's going to take some money, but I mean, I don't really understand where the money is in Discord, but apparently it's gained incredible value.
Yes.
But I don't see any fucking ads.
No, I think people are buying cosmetics and nitro, and I still think there's a lot of data farming too. So
the biggest parts of the data farming, and it's also Discord now links to a lot of other accounts, and once it's linked to another account, then it can actually draw information on that and say like, oh, hey, this is where you spend your money on Patreon, and this is who you look at on your Twitch account, and this is what you look at over here. Like the second you start linking your Discord account to other things, link it to your cell phone. You can download the Discord app. Oh, now, hey, I have access to your entire library of images. Awesome. Those all belong to me, by the way, because have you ever read the Discord terms of service? Holy
bro,
shit, yes.
I just lost all of my files on my computer.
Yeah.
So Microsoft is overreaching like a motherfucker.
Yes,
I didn't want to
they
be
are.
a part of their cloud. I disconnected from their cloud after it was forcefully uploading my files. But because I disconnected from their cloud, they were somehow allowed to delete everything on my computer.
Huh?
Yep. Oh,
Yeah.
he was telling me about this. It's actually.
I'm not the first one either. People are just saying nothing you can do.
No, I told you, download WinArrow and block all that shit right off the bat for for Windows 10 or 11.
I'm not
Number
even
3,
using the
kill it
computer
all.
like that anymore, dude. This is literally a browser gateway now. I'm done. Windows can go fuck itself.
Yep. But to the original point, though, my personal feeling on Gork getting hit by the EU is like, yes, they could do these things. They're not going to do them unless they get punched in the dick financially. The only way that's going to happen is if somebody like the EU comes out and says, you guys are fucking up and you need to police yourselves, or it's going to financially hurt you and you're not going to be involved in this market. Then they're going to care and they're going to do it. Unless that happens, they're going to let whatever fucking makes some money happen. Like they're not moral human beings. Like these corporations don't give a shit about what's correct or humanly right. They're going to do whatever is in their best interest to make money and for profit. Like that's the end of the day. So I dislike that Gork specifically is being targeted. I hope that they get slapped on the nose so hard that all the other companies say, oh God, we don't want to get hit with that. Maybe we should put some protections in to prevent this bad shit from happening.
The what was the term that you used the other night? Was it selective pricing?
Yes. Do you want me to unpack that entire thing?
Well, I'm just curious if anybody on this panel besides Hells is familiar with the term selective pricing.
Yes.
Okay, how do you define it?
Well, I've heard it to mean that companies are going to be charging people what they perceive that person can afford. So there'll be like various pricing as to a person's like financial standing or well-being.
Are you aware that these practices are already in effect?
And what
They are, and it's limited though.
Well, you make it sound like it's a bad thing. It seems perfectly legitimate to me.
What application?
Hells, I'll let you unpack it. I'm new to
Okay,
it.
so there's two. Like one of the big ones was a guy was doing like, hey, for shopping for groceries, they brought in like 30 people into a room in multiple different locations with multiple companies and said, hey, with this company, here's a grocery shopping list. Fill up your cart and let's compare cart prices. And they compared the pricing of different carts. Everybody would constantly have different pricing for their carts. The cost of groceries are different. The company would say, hey, this person likes this specific brand of mayonnaise a lot, so we can charge them twice as much than this guy over here because we're going to charge them more for the thing they like to buy. The other side of it was selective pricing that was both technical as far as timing. These are both in New York. They would have pricing that would shift to say like, hey, this is when the locals come out and they want to buy shit and they're not going to be willing to pay these prices. So we're going to scale down the pricing and say the sandwich is only $5 and then say, oh, this is when the tourists want to buy a sandwich Now we're going to call that sandwich $20. So then they're just selectively targeting people that aren't in the area. The other side that was more predatory, in my opinion, by a very extreme amount, was whenever they had these AI cameras. And the AI cameras build profiles and identify individuals and say these are their spending habits and these individuals are spending this much money. By the way, they're dressed this way. This motherfucker has a suit on. He probably has more money than that motherfucker that's wearing their goddamn pajamas. So we can charge him twice as much for his groceries. But the direction it's going towards is it's maximizing profits individually for people and saying, hey, you have more money, so fuck you, give me more money.
So, well, how would that work in a real world scenario where price tags are on all the groceries?
Except they're not anymore. Have you
They're
seen
not.
a lot of places now? Like now
They're
they just have like
robotic.
barcodes or a QR code and they say, hey, if you want to see how much this costs, get our app.
We don't have, that's not in Massachusetts. Everything has to be priced.
We'll wait for it. Just wait for it, brother. It's in some places in Texas. It's all over the place in other countries, or not countries, states. California, New York especially, massive thing. Most places you go in, they don't have price tags. They have little barcodes. The justification is for to say, hey, we have the price fluctuations are so great. We need to vary the price by the second.
Not here. Here, it
Well,
has
that's
to
your
be
state
listed.
law right now. That's your state law right now, but that could change.
Well, yeah, but the state law here is the price that's listed is the price you pay. If you have a price that's listed and you bring it to the cash register and they overcharge you, you get it for free. That's the state law.
Not at Dollar General.
Free?
Dollar General's like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah. Dollar General.
Yeah, I mean, no, that's a consumer protection law here, and it should damn well stay that way. And yeah, we have an app for our supermarket too, which they give you all these, like, you can check them off, like the things you're going to buy. But the way we beat that is we check off all 400 things every week. So they don't know what to charge us more for or less for because we check off everything on the app. And it only takes 5 minutes. Like, you just got to sit down and dedicate to it. You can save like probably $25 a week if you do it, you know?
It's still bullshit that you have to, though. I mean,
It
let's be
is.
real.
But they are tracking your purchases by deciding what you check off, and then they call that, they'll offer you for you coupons in the future or discounts. But if you check everything off, then the data is completely skewed because we don't buy everything. We only buy what we need, but we just make sure everything is checked. So any discount that might happen is going to happen. I don't know if you guys have those apps for your supermarkets, but I highly recommend you or whoever the shopper is gets it because it does end up saving you money in the long run.
But
How
doesn't
does it
that
save you
same
money?
mentality push towards the selective pricing culture?
It does, but we, like I said, our way around it is to go through the damn thing and check every discount, all 400 of them. So I feel like we're sort of bastardizing their data collection by doing that.
Aren't they still tracking the things that you actually buy and not just the things you check off, though?
Of course.
So, I mean, wouldn't that be the actual thing they would use if they wanted to exploit you and make you pay more and you wouldn't even be the wiser?
But all the prices are listed on the shelves too. That's another state law here. So the price is listed under the thing, and there's price tags on all the groceries.
So how often have you bought something online with your app or whatever the hell, and then physically walked into the grocery store and looked at the price tag that's sitting on that loaf of bread and
Well,
said, hey, is it the same?
It's more expensive online.
It,
Yeah,
it
we don't-
usually is.
We rarely do the online thing, and it's okay. But
Yeah, my point is, just because the price is posted, unless you're going to go in there and verify that the price you're getting charged is actually the appropriate price, it doesn't matter what they post. And they could charge a different price online than they will in the store, and they could still price fix you and fuck with you all day and do the same price fix.
True. Most of the time we do buy in the store. So you do the app, and it's all connected, like you're saying. So like then when you go through and you leave, you enter your phone number, and that's how you get all the discounts. It's all connected and tracked. I agree with you.
I just think it's interesting because I don't go to town much anymore. Like I'm a hermit, but when I do go to Walmart or whatever, or Food Line or any place of grocery,
they have created more and more space in their parking lot for these people, where more and more of them are just parking and they unload on them and then they drive away. Like they're not. The whole reason I go is to go in the store. Like, but the culture is definitely shifting towards home delivery or
pickups. Yeah,
it's convenience. If you're willing to pay for the convenience, go for it. I'd rather pick out my zucchini than me.
Yeah, I don't want the like limpy, scarred one. I want the perfectly.
That's exactly.
But RW, haven't you noticed when you're in the store that shoppers that are fulfilling online orders or pickup orders are like rushing around like maniacs, threatening to run you over?
Yeah.
There's a lot of them going at it. Yeah, I'm pretty good at not getting hit by them.
Man, it's tough.
I wouldn't be surprised if they were even directed to take the produce that is going to expire sooner. Why? I mean, why would they go and look for the meat or produce that has the furthest?
Oh, you're talking about the people that work at the store, yeah.
What you might call a picker.
They're sourcing their stuff, yeah.
Yeah, because we just got like this mix, like the wife likes this fancy lettuce, like for her sandwiches and shit. And like, we get it. Of course, when you buy it yourself, you fucking look and you find the latest date from the date you're on.
You reach all the way in the back.
Make sure there's no like brown spots because it's in one of those clamshell plastic containers, the hard ones.
Yeah.
And of course, when you get that shit online, it's fucking brown and slimy, dude. And all the vegetables, they're these dumb fucking idiot teens that are like, they don't fucking.
Dude. There's not many younger people that are doing that job here. Most of them are middle age.
Yeah.
Most of them here are young.
Okay.
And I swear they're just. I said to them before, best job in the store, right? You don't have to deal with anybody, and they're just like, they're just.
They don't even speak English.
You know?
They forgot the language.
I personally feel though it does come down to the conflict of interest. Though is like your interest is to get good product, their interest is to get paid for their job, and they're probably given some kind of an optimization function of like, hey, you have to do this much, or hey, the more that you do, the more you're going to get paid.
Quantity.
For them, it doesn't matter if you get the old zucchini or the new zucchini, the cabbage, the new one. Like that doesn't fucking matter. It's just like, hey, they asked for a cabbage. I got them a cabbage. It's still technically good by company standards. There you fucking go. You don't like that cabbage?
And Walmart will just take it back and give them the refund if they really want to come back and say something about it.
Every place
how many
does
people
that.
are going to go argue about a fucking cabbage?
Right.
Yeah, not to mention if it's raw meat and you like, they grab one that's dated the day that you're buying it or the day after, which we all know. There's occasionally a few of those in there, and then there's a few that are like dated 5 or 6 days away. Obviously, nobody's buying the fucking ones that are about to expire, but these fucking pickers, they don't care. They'll grab whatever they can, get the hell out of there. So in that sense, we've decided it's worth the fucking hour waste time suck of wandering through there like a zombie buying things.
I like doing that already because most of the times I don't even know what I want. I don't know what I'm making for dinner, and my thoughts come when I go shopping. The only time we do the drop-off orders, what's that?
I love it.
That's impulse purchasing, man. I do it all the time.
Well, no. It's more like I don't have a plan for dinner, but I'll see what's on sale.
Okay.
And then I'll go from there. And the only time we do the drop-off orders, if we're going down south, we don't keep groceries in the fridge. So if we're going down there, make an order before we get there, so everything's there when we get there. So
for all the staples, ketchup, bullshit, whatever. Yeah.
I have done it before for like condiments and whatnot, like 100%. I'm like, dude, you can't fuck that up.
You can't fuck that up.
A 5-year expiration date. Like, yes, my spices and my ketchup and my mustard. Like,
well, does your states allow alcohol be delivered like that?
Now they do.
Texas,
certain lines,
or wherever you are.
Yeah.
Anything with vinegar lasts forever.
Yeah. Pennsylvania, they can't deliver alcohol unless it's shipped by Amazon or something in one of those packages. But I can't.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Can't deliver it in Maryland either. I'm fairly certain.
You can't get wine delivered. You can't get cases of wine delivered.
I don't. Well, I
thought
know
you could.
I've gotten wine delivered, but it might have been during COVID.
You want me to send you some homemade wine?
Huh?
I
Totally.
crushed the grapes with my feet.
Yeah, some toilet wine.
Yeah. Concord grapes are fucking.
It's made with love for some extra spice, bro.
That's all we need. Interstate transport for alcohol for sending a bottle of wine.
I had a buddy that would get Uber to his house, go out, tell the Uber driver, give him like the money for the alcohol, and show him $100 bill that he would tip. Now the guy has money. I don't. And I'm like, well, it's a risk. He just take that money and go off. But he's like, he wants the $100 tip, so he'll go get the liquor and come back.
He doesn't want a 1-star rating either, so he's sweating bullets.
I don't even know. I don't know Uber. I've never been in one, so
I don't have the app. Do you, Topple?
you can. No, I don't. Well, my wife does it all the time, but I rather rent a car. Well, I mean, if I go somewhere, I'm renting a car. So
I should have the app though, because if I ever need that shit, I don't want to be standing on the side of the road with half a bar trying to download the app and then just to get one ride. You know, like it's us guys are like, I'm never gonna do that, but then there's gonna be a time you're gonna be like, fuck, I wish I had Uber. You know, like
I've used Uber.
I
have the app.
Yeah,
you've complained about the price though.
I still have fucking taxi cab numbers. Like I have cards.
Wow.
Yeah, people in my
Are
wallet.
they still in
and my
business?
phone. Yes, there is still ones.
I was gonna say they must have really got tanked out.
Yeah, and a lot of them too are like even underground. They're Uber drivers, and after I might meet them in a bar and like you do Uber, and I'm like, well, I'm never fucking using Uber. I'm never getting their app. But if you want, I'll take your fucking phone number and I'll hit you up if I need a fucking ride. How about that?
Yeah,
exactly.
And I will pay you below the rate that Uber's going to charge, and you're going to make more fucking money, and you don't got to deal with the Uber bullshit. How about that?
Right. Uber takes like 30 to 50%. So if they're going to charge you 30 from Uber and you offer them fucking like $18,
There's a new app in town called
they're making
Empower.
more off you. What's the new app? What's it called? Power
Empower.
The
Empower.
the pedestrian rickshaws, pedestrian.
They give the driver more higher percentage.
Until they get enough of the market, and then guess what's going to happen?
Probably. I don't know.
No, the wild thing I really think, have you guys ever looked at the profit margins of a lot of these massive tech companies?
Like how you're playing with your knife while you're talking about this.
Oh, sorry.
The profit margin of massive tech now.
No, like so. For example, like Uber and Uber Eats and all that shit.
All right.
Yeah. No, like for the majority of them, they have not had a profitable fucking year ever. And even to include YouTube has rarely ever had a profitable fucking year.
How is that possible? I don't. I struggle to believe that.
This is what I'm saying. Like, dude, seriously, look into it. Like the amount of like really huge benchmark ones of like Lyft and fucking Uber and YouTube and like a lot of these ones, they have been like a net deficit in a massive fucking level year after year after year after year, and somehow they just grow into like this massive industry giant, and more people keep dumping money into it. It's like, how is this happening? Like, I don't really get it. It feels fraudulent.
I mean, let's look at YouTube. You gave that as an example. I struggle to believe that the amount of commercials and people paying and all the super chats and all the money literally that's getting dumped into it.
Let's ask Grok.
Because
let's see, YouTube profit by year.
Because YouTube, when it comes to a propaganda machine, YouTube has to be one of the largest propaganda platforms.
I think they became profitable after they were purchased by Google. I think prior to Google, they lost money year after year after year, and that they did have positive quarters. I think they might have had like one, maybe two profitable years, but I think that they were just straight up like a fucking bubble that was waiting to pop unless it worked out.
So Alphabet, Google's parent company, doesn't break out YouTube's exact operating profit in its public
well, they
earnings.
can cover it under its umbrella.
They do disclose their ad revenue, and it's like $10 billion a quarter.
Revenue versus profit is two different things, though.
I agree. But you're talking about $40 billion in ad revenue. I don't know what could possibly cost any close to that.
Servers.
I mean,
all
yeah,
that.
server
40
costs.
billion. Yeah, that's a big profit center.
Supposedly they pay out.
You're saying that YouTube has 40 billion or Alphabet has 40 billion?
YouTube's ad revenue, just YouTube, and just their ad revenue, not yours. If you pay $2 a month or whatever for YouTube TV.
I mean, it could
Right.
be. I'm seeing at 2016 they were around 10 billion.
Yeah, those numbers are off the chart, and I don't see them going anywhere because I personally am using YouTube more, and I think they're going to continue to become more integrated, and other streaming services are going to have to compete more and more to be relevant and have people want to pay for the subscription.
Oh yeah, I do agree, and they've also introduced like a lot of payment factors. But there is that trend, and there's another side of it. I will say, just being kind of a corporate douchebag and some of the stuff that I mess with. There's a thing that you do called load lossing, where you stack up losses in a year in order to justify that you didn't make money that year, even if you really did, but then you just front load those losses and say like, hey man, I have a construction company and I just bought 20, 40, 50, $100,000 worth of equipment. Instead of prorating that per year, I'm just going to load it all up as a loss that 1 year, and then I'm going to be able to recoup that over time as a loss on a period of time. Load lossing could have been a factor in some of these tech companies, such as Lyft and Uber and everything else, where they were saying, hey, as we purchase these servers, we're just going to say that we're not making money as we purchased it, but then we're going to convey to investors to be like, hey, we bought all this shit, don't worry about it, we're in the fucking red, but we got this. Like, our costs in the future are good. So, I mean, that could be a factor.
No, I know that people manipulate money, even wealthy individuals. The game is to continually invest so that you're never paying taxes.
Yes, there's a lot with that, yes.
I don't have those problems. Or wait, maybe it's not a problem. See you, Topple.
Topple out. All right, bye, buddy. All right, well, it looks like things are winding down here, right, fellas?
Yeah, I've covered everything I had. Yeah, I think we did well with the topic. I think the conversation went pretty smooth, more than I expected it.
Pretty smooth, and if everyone's around later, I'm sure Scum TV might be doing his thing.
All right.
Anything else going on, RW? You going to do a little something?
No, my brain's pretty spent. If I watch Scum's feed, I'll probably just be to chill and not really think too much. I actually hung out with Hells the other night and was able to get my conversation quota up, so I think I'm pretty good.
All right, cool. All right, the pub's yours. Go, RW.
Well, thank you everybody for coming out. I'm going to kick all these other guys off the stage.
All right. Take it easy.
All right.
Well, appreciate you. Thank you for having me.
All right.
Thanks
See
for
you,
coming,
buddy.
Al.
Yeah, y'all have a good time.
Steve, it's always a pleasure.
It is always a pleasure. Thank you for being here, my friend.
Yeah, man. And just so everyone knows, a lot of stuff is going to be continuing to happen in the United States and around the world at spiraling speeds. Keep an eye on Iran. Keep an eye on Greenland. Keep an eye on China. And don't worry about Venezuela. That's in the bucket. But hopefully within our own United States of America, we can learn how to communicate and get along with each other so that we can understand what the true problems are and not let corporations and politicians dictate to us what they are creating problems as. I want to say thank you to everybody across the pond, both sides. It's nice to have you here, Australia, and Don, and Bottle, and Cup of Tea, and all of that. It was nice to have your comments in the chat. It's always appreciated. It helps this place flow even better. And that's all I got.
Exactly.
Steve, thanks, buddy.
All right, man. We'll see you. I'm going to finish off with a little bit of Grateful Dead in honor of Bob Weir. I'm going to play it quietly and do the best I can with this. So pardon my bad voice. This one's going to be for Bobby. Rest in peace, sir. I'm going to have to do a little adjusting on the audio. And let's fix that. The first days are the hardest days. Don't you worry anymore. When life puts you on easy street, there is a stranger at your door. Think this through with me. Let me know your mind. Oh, oh, what I want to know is, are you kind? It's a buck dancer's choice, my friend. Better take my advice. You know all the rules by now, and the fire from the ice. Will you come with me? Won't you come with me? Whoa, oh, what I want to know. Will you come with me? Rest in peace, Bobby. God damn, well I declare, have you seen the like? Their walls are made of cannonballs. Their motto is, don't tread on me. Come hear Uncle John's band playing to the tide. Come on with me or go alone. He's come to take his children home. Da 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 da.